Hi people, we're live. Emery and Drake are here with me, but you wouldn't know that because they are invisible today.
Hello.
Woo!
Indeed.
It's almost Halloween, so this is very spooky. No,
Ooh,
the reactive PNGs are just not loading, and I have given up.
We'll show up eventually.
Yeah.
Yep.
Eventually.
We'll make a dramatic appearance right in the middle of the screen at some point.
Yes, I'm also still busy tweeting. As you can see, we're doing this very live today. I'm tweeting on
Extremely
screen
live.
as I we
Now I'm gonna say, as we are scuffed starting,
Yes.
I like this game. I like it a lot. It just has some significant drawbacks that I'm very sure we will lambast over the next few hours.
Okay, yeah, fair. I will agree with that.
Mm-hmm. I did like that right away when I was reading. Oh, okay. Here's how you make checks. Blah blah blah. Oh, I'm already done with the section. Whoa. Okay, good.
Mechanically,
it reads very well.
Yeah, it reads well. It's the art is good. There's not much. Thank you, Twitter.
I'm gonna make the argument that I think this is the best laid out book we've actually looked at.
Yeah, fair.
It's also the newest. It's like it's the absolute newest. So it damn well should be.
Yeah, that is also very true. Yeah, it's clear they had money because the art is great. The art is high quality, and there's a lot of it. And the layout is professionally done. Yes, it's.
I will
have
say
no complaint on that part.
I have some background because I used to have a contact at Modifius, and back in the day, back like last year when this game was coming out, when it was in the lead up, I was in talks with a PR representative from Modifius to get a review copy of this. I ended up not getting it.
Okay.
Due to a paperwork snafu. However, I've now bought it. It's not a big deal. Granted, there is a reason that there is a lot of cash in this, and it's because Modifius owns, I believe, the sole tabletop like publishing rights for Elder Scrolls, Fallout, Conan the Barbarian, and like the Barsoom series, like John Carter. These dudes, they have a ridiculous amount of cash to put into their games. And all of them are based on their 2D20 system, which is what we're working with today.
Anyone care to quickly explain that? Because it's a good system in so far as that it's quite easy to explain, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Sure.
Who wants to take it?
I could, but I'm still posting things on different
Okay,
servers.
so
All right.
I have actually played 2D20. I don't know if you two have.
I have
No,
not.
I haven't yet.
Okay, I played a significant amount of the Conan 2D20, and they
Mhm.
rely on special dice, which drives me nuts. I absolutely despise it. This is the only issue with Modiphius. If you look through this book, you will see that they have little Vault Boy faces,
Mm-hmm.
and that it's so frustrating because it's like, just tell me what I'm rolling on the die. I'm rolling a d6, but no, we need to sell specific dice, and that's what Modiphius does best.
Yeah,
Mhm.
they have a
Anyways,
mapping apparently somewhere. I didn't find it actually, but they mentioned that you can map
oh, they
the
do.
faces.
They have it. Yeah, they always include it, but it's such a huge pain, the idea that you have to have like a little note card next to you to
Yeah.
determine, and do math. You have to
Oh.
do that in the Fantasy Flight Star Wars game, which is actually pretty
Mhm.
good. I like that game. That is one of the only games that I would suggest. Yeah, go buy their goofy dice because the dice are cool, and the game is really fun. Anyways, uh, indeed, you're basically rolling a dice pool. It's a dice pooling game, but your pool is a d20. I believe you start with two of them.
Yeah.
That's why it's called 2d20, and you are attempting to hit one or more successes on a skill check. So you always have a chance to at least hit, one die. Like regular 2d20 roll with my target number is 12. Uh,
Oh, you roll below. We
I
should
just
mention.
rolled, yeah, I just rolled below, and so I got a 1 and a 4. So
Mm-hmm.
no matter what I'm going to add to my abilities, that's two successes.
Yes,
Uh,
I think
2d20 also predicates on
your
a system.
you
Oh,
go,
sorry,
you go,
please
you go.
continue.
No, you go.
Okay. It is predicated on a system of storing points for extra successes. So on that roll, I got like a 4 and a 1. If my target
Mm-hmm.
number was 12, that extra success is either used to gain more information about the scenario or do other extra effects, or I could bank it for later, and a friend can use that to get an extra die to get more successes on a roll.
Yes.
That's it.
Yeah, your target number that which you have is dependent on your attribute and skill, which you add together.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And if you're an actual one, it counts double. So you would have actually gotten 3 successes there, according to their
Yep.
rules.
Yep. Yep. I
Mhm.
was going too quick, and my brain is it's like a diesel engine that you just started without warming.
That's fine. I'm just I'm just scrolling down a bit, and people can see this is
Mhm.
a very pretty book.
It
Well,
is it
I'm
is a gorgeous book. I really like it.
one also thing that we left out about Modiphius. They're the ones who are publishing Star Trek stuff right now too for
Oh,
Yeah.
tabletop, and
Yeah.
it looks like they're the exclusive ones for that. So
nice. Welcome to that.
yeah, they own a lot of stuff. I'm trying to
Modifius
find out.
has fucking money.
I'm trying to find out if they're part of the same company or company group that now owns the exclusive rights to all Conan stuff. Because the same
I
company that did the Conan MMORPG,
Mhm.
that same company now owns the rights to all Conan stuff. So I don't know what the deal is between them and Modiphius, or if they're closely affiliated. I don't know. I'm
I
trying to find
I
out.
I believe that the Conan RPG was published first. I could
Oh
be
yeah.
wrong,
Mhm.
but
Uh,
I believe it
I,
was published first, and they have kind of a grandfathered agreement that, like, hey, we're publishing this book, and once
let me
it's
just
That
out,
look.
makes
When
sense. That
did
makes
they?
sense.
So
Because the
that
the
happens
acquisition is
frequently.
very recent for
Mhm.
this company to get all of the rights to go and stuff. I can't remember the name of the company for the life of me, but
I will say, holy shit! If you want a really good, like, low fantasy game, play Modiphius Conan. That game is awesome.
to
It
me,
is
to me,
super
it
cool.
looks like they are. We are. This book came out this year, so
Mhm.
2021. So Conan
Nice.
must be older. Can I set this
Mhm.
up so that it shows up differently? By the way, is there a thing I can do? I mean, I like that it's for readability. It's nice, but I don't think the stream can see as much like this. Hmm.
Oh, they do the James Bond board games too. They do a lot of
Nice.
stuff. Oh, they have the
So
rights to Dune and doing Dune
yeah, they
RPG
do.
stuff.
Yup. You
Dang.
can. They have a laundry list of shit. It's absolutely insane.
Hmm. I don't
This
think I
company is crazy.
can. I don't think I can set it up on different.
Oh, they're the ones who have Judge Dredd and Alien also.
They do indeed publish Alien as well.
Yeah. Well, you have to bear with this today. I hope you can read this anyway.
I think it's functional enough for
Yeah, it's functional
I
enough.
think it's all right.
Yeah, it's good.
Because they have a lot of 2-page spreads that I think is going to look better in that kind of split.
I think
split
that,
style.
I would say this works if you have it full screen. It works well to read it, but it's like a lot more like reading a book. So I actually like this setup.
I prefer the 2-pagers.
It's also pretty clear that this is bought and not no one scanned it. As you said, you bought this, since otherwise this would not look as crisp. It's simply not possible. Yeah. So, the base system pretty simple. Again, you just have your target number, which is like, oh, I have 4 agility and I have 6 in guns, so I have a 10 target number. That's easy.
Very easy.
Under 10 or roll under or equal to. I'm not sure if it's equal. Equal would be okay.
Equal to and under, yes.
Okay.
Yep.
Then you have a success, and depending on how hard the task is you're trying to do, you will need different numbers of successes. So it can be up to 5. The hardest thing you can do is, apparently we have a little chart of examples, is 5 successes. But as we have discussed, the most success you can roll into D20 is actually 4 if you do roll double 1. So how do you get 5? Well, we said it. There's action points, and whenever you do a skill roll and you roll, say it's a difficulty 1 skill roll, and you roll 2 successes, you can bunker 1 success as an action point, and then that goes into a pool that the group gets to use to do stuff. Oh, Daisy, hi! Thanks for the support.
Hello, Daisy.
So this is where we ran into our first argument about the system. Which
we sure did.
We talked about, and I think we could talk about this because this was a big deal. I was thinking about this on Twitter earlier in the week. I think it was yesterday. You cannot design systems around bad players. So your worry about this system and banking these extra things is that players would cheese out simple rolls to stock a bunch of action points for later.
I have several problems with this. The first one is indeed. I feel this would get a certain subset of player. Wait, where's my browser gone? Okay, here. Get a certain subset of player to basically fish for rolls so that they can have a bunch of easy rolls and then you do the cool thing later. And that is a problem that you can have, but then the players are bad. I agree with you there. We talked about that. With each other, because you cannot foolproof your system. If someone's gonna do dumb shit, they're gonna do dumb shit. However, my problem with this is another one actually. The fishing for success is one aspect of it, which I see people doing, which is not cool. But
there is something about this though that I really want to make clear about the AP system. It only stocks up to 6 points here, and on top of that, buying extra dice costs more and more action points as you go. So buying 1 is 1, buying 2. Oh, hey, look, there I am.
Yes.
Buying, a second 1 is 2, and then buying your third is 3. So if you spend all 6 action points, you get your 3 extra dice to attempt your skill check.
Hi, Fest. Thank you for. Oh, you are cute, Fest. You're very cute. You're super cute.
You are. Yes.
Yes. Hi.
So the cutest.
So that's one of those things where you could get an extra success, or you could talk to the rest of your group and be like, hey guys, I need to use all of our banked AP right here because I really need to make this shot.
Yes.
Oh, Lord, Drake, you're so huge.
Yeah, that's supposed to be the case. So let me just adjust your positions a little.
Immense.
There we go. Yeah, Drake is supposed to be big. Drake is a Demetrescu Doge. Yeah, like 20 feet tall. No, but my real problem with this is a different one. It's that it does not fucking matter what you do to accumulate your things. So you can be in a firefight, and that's just the simplest example, because shooting a target at close range is a difficulty of 1 apparently. So you are in a firefight and everyone's shooting guys with pistols, and you bank up 6 action points over the course of that fight because it's kind of easy. And then the group goes to sleep, stands up, walks through the wasteland, finds some sort of door, and it's a super hard door, and they have to crack it. So they put all the action points into that, and it makes no sense to me that that could work.
Okay, so this is where over the last day, I think I talked about how this game shares a lot of blood with the Fantasy Flight Star Wars game, which I mean, it's really obvious when you start to look at like stuff like their weapon properties and modifications and how you actually build your character. Except this is actually a
Yes.
weird level-based system, which I still like
Mhm.
level-based systems. I'm old,
I can
but
I
it
can go
is
either way.
it is in the action point system that it shares the most. So in the Genesis generic role playing system, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
Star Wars by extension, you at the beginning of a session store up a set of story points, and I believe it's one per player. So if you have 6 players, you have a grand total of I think 6 points. Or if I think they roll in the Star Wars game, if you get like 2 pips, then they store 2 per. So you can have I guess 6 players up to 12, but that would be really rare.
Mm-hmm.
But they are points that the player can spend to cause actions to occur, either special things that they have on their sheet, like I
Mhm.
think some of the mercenary classes have, just clear out every minion in the encounter. One of my German player uses that in Star Wars all the time to bully me and kill every single stormtrooper in an encounter. It's amazing. I love it, and it's actually great. I think it's super fun. Uh, I remember. Oh shit! I'm just gonna start. We gotta start. We gotta talk about that Star Wars game at some point. That game kicks ass. Fucking Jedi Guardians can 1v1 people like it's Duel of the Fates. It's
Okay.
radical. But
Okay.
anyways, so it is an abstract kind of pulp storytelling narrative device that is more about working together as players and trying to get the meta conversation going about when are we going to spend these, how are we going to use them, are we going to
Mhm.
use these selfishly or a little bit more moderately, maybe we need to keep them banked for later. We don't know if like say a super mutant's going to show up and we're going to really need those to make that really good shot, or do we
Yeah.
spend them now to break open this lock?
Mhm.
Yeah. See,
So
I
it's
don't like
less
that.
about the it's less about the actual in-game explanation for it, and it's more a kind of a player interaction
Mm-hmm.
mechanic.
Yeah, and I get that. Yeah, it's that's in and of itself is fine, but I don't like things that are non-diegetic in a system. I don't even like if people ask, "Do you have a +5 to your roll?" I don't never like that because you shouldn't be discussing your stats semi in character. It's
Mm-hmm.
even that is something I don't enjoy as much as just not doing it. Saying, guys, don't worry, I'm skilled at this, and then my character might be lying. I might be
Mm-hmm.
shit at opening locks, but who knows? Maybe I
Mhm.
But
don't
my
even know
character
I'm bad.
lies.
Yeah, maybe I'm just good at lying. I
uh,
mean,
Oh,
but
I'm great at this. Breaks
that's
lockpick.
yeah, that's the this door must be super difficult. I mean, I've played a character who did that for months before they were found out. This was
yeah,
not
you're
with
just gonna be that
lockpicking.
guy who talks about how he shot through the eye of a Brotherhood power armor
Yeah.
suit in Honest Hearts. I love that guy. I can't remember his name's Ricky. Yeah, man, I fought those death jaws. You mean death claws, right? Oh no, these ones have bigger teeth.
Yes,
I love
yes.
that guy. He's great.
That guy's
But anyways,
awesome.
so my problem with the AP system is that it doesn't model how AP fucking works in Fallout
Yeah,
Yes,
at
the
all.
that's my
AP
problem
default
with it
is the
too.
settings.
is the measure of how many actions you can do per turn. That's why they're called action points.
Yeah, it
It
doesn't.
Yeah,
drives me nuts.
they did put this in, so you can action points. We are on that page right now.
Mm. Yes.
You can obtain information with them as well if you spend one. Asks the
Mhm.
game master a single question about the current situation based on your test. The GM will answer truthfully, but the answer might not be complete. I don't understand this one. This one is completely stupid to me. Because, okay, I have a question about my role. No, I won't answer it. You didn't spend an action point. What? uh,
Yeah, that's a really weird one because I wish they had a little bit more explanation. The way I read it is like trying to glean more information about the situation, but I usually tell my players that shit anyways. Like if
yeah,
they're
exactly.
making a sniper
Mhm.
shot and they go like, "Oh, I'm going to spend an AP to gain more information about it." Like, "Oh, is the guy wearing any like ballistic weave I'm not
Yeah,
able to see." I'm like, "Well, if you can't see it, then you can't see it. Like that's not
exactly.
information you can get from this
Exactly.
distance."
It's this one.
Exactly.
Like Like, what kind of information could you get from this
Yeah,
that you wouldn't
especially.
already have?
I mean, I would understand if we were like, okay, you can spend 1 AP just gain a piece of information, point, period. But since it has to be contingent on your role that you're already making,
On your situation,
you
yeah.
have already talked about, okay, can I shoot this guy? Yeah, sure, you can. It's going to be a hard shot. Yeah, then I'm going to use action points. But now I have a question. Well, now that you have a question, it costs you an action point to ask for me to answer
that's
that.
strange.
Because we are
That's really
talking
weird.
about you shooting him. If you were just talking in the abstract, you could ask 20 questions of me. Because I'm the game master, and if I don't answer questions, we don't have a game.
Yeah.
Here's the thing, right? Like, if this single thing didn't exist, I would have way less problems with it.
Yeah. It's definitely something that gets thrown in where we're just like, wait, why is this here? Don't they realize this is an interactive game to begin with?
Here is my pitch for you. So we are gonna get to luck at some point, and luck is basically you can re-roll a die. This should have been luck. Make luck a pool for the group, because yes, you yourself can have 10 luck and your friend has 1, but if your friend needs to make this shot so you can have the success in your mission, then you're giving them luck. It works and does make action points. This whole thing.
Action points should be initiative. So oh my god, we got to talk about initiative really quick to make this conversation make sense. Initiative is a stat in this game. You have a fixed stat. And you always go in the same initiative order, and I hate that.
I also hate that. It's just derived from 2 attributes, I think, wits and... No, it's not wits. One is agility, the other is perception or something like
perception,
that.
Yeah, I think it's agility, perception.
And then you get a flat number, and you go every time in that order.
Yeah.
You will always go in that order. I think that was the same in Conan, but I still don't like it.
Well, it's like we just want to look at this by itself. It's like they looked at the sequence stat from Fallout 1 and 2 and just like, oh, okay, that's exactly how it works. No, in the game itself, there was a die roll that was added to your sequence at the start of every fight.
Yes. Also, the sequence was... you could get bonuses from other things to that.
Oh, yeah. There's perks for it and whatnot.
This might be here. So, but since AP is so central and the rest of the system is very simple, let's rush through the rest. So you can make things go faster. If time is of the essence, you can spend AP.
I actually really like that.
To make things go faster, which is often I'm going to say, this is a bit DM fiat-y, you know? But that's kind of sort of fine. I would usually say you can attempt this, to do this in that time, and if they then spend AP, they have 2 rolls or something like that. Because otherwise,
I like that, because if a player is trying to like hack a terminal and they're in the middle of like a high stress situation, they're like, shit, this thing might come up on us in the 5 minutes it's going to take me to hack this. Can I spend a couple action points and have that time? That's really cool.
Exactly. You have to be, as the DM, have to be willing to cut the player some slack here, because again, if you kind of know, okay, once they hack this, the enemy is gonna this and that's gonna happen, enemy is gonna come, then having them spend action to make it quicker is in that moment is kind of shit, since it doesn't really do anything. So depending on how you wrote your adventure, it has to be used differently, but well, it's fine to allow this. And then you can do what Fallout or OG Fallout allows you to do, namely have more actions in a fight. Or do more damage in a fight, which wasn't a thing, but I think it's fine to also put in.
It's also only melee and throwing that you can add that extra damage to, which I think is like, that's fine.
Yeah,
you like it.
Yeah, I think this is by far the worst use of this, because this thing is a D6 basically. It's not very good, because the weapons. I think the shittiest weapon does like 3 of them already. And you have up to 6 action points, and spending 3 action points to do 3 extra dice is not very good.
Yeah, I mean, it really feels like it's trying to make melee weapons work.
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's like we need to give an advantage to players who want to play unarmed or melee builds. But it's like, if you pick a certain perk set, your unarmed damage is going to pierce armor and knock people around like crazy and stun them anyways.
Yeah.
There's that, and then there's also the fact that this is on an exact distance simulator. If this was like another system where we're tracking how many feet away or meters away people are, then I could understand, hey, we got to give the melee and the throne some support. But in this system, if you're close, you're close. Period.
Yeah. You are built on range bands, basically, and range band systems are all relative, you know.
And just again, you only have 6 of these points, and only if people actually put into the pool by rolling well, and you can just deplete half your pool, for which you could get 2 extra dice, 2 extra d20s, to do a bit
Bro.
more damage. It's not worth it, in my
If the
opinion.
fucking super mutant player character spent half of our fucking pool that we had saved up over like this session to hit a guy really hard with a board, I would fucking like, I would be so mad.
Yes,
I
yes,
almost said I
yes.
would piss my pants, but I'm sorry. I would be livid. I would be fucking livid.
Super understandable. So, what's next? Well, we talked about luck. You can re-roll. You have to accept the new roll.
Yep.
You can. Oh yeah, and you can just pay 1 luck point to be, so that is your turn in the fight. So this does not change initiative. You just take your turn that turn sooner.
Yeah, you just act faster. But the crazy thing about that is you have a limited amount of luck per session.
Yeah.
So like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Wait, quest is the quest their session? That's the one thing I didn't pull out of this book when I originally read it.
They say it's
or is it just per adventure?
That's kind of per DM fiat. It's per adventure for sure, but then you can be like, oh, you did important part of the adventure now, so you get your luck back.
Yeah.
If it's
we hit a milestone, get your luck back.
Exactly. And the one,
they seem like they're building this for that kind of episodic Fallout feel, though, and I like that.
Indeed.
Yeah.
The thing I like best about this is that you can pay a luck point to roll your luck stat instead of your normal stat with a roll. So you can just make your roll easier.
That's really cool.
I like that a lot.
It's fun because you can have luck 10 and be an average guy, but just sometimes you're just very good at it. Yes.
Yeah, I really like characters like that. The Joe Average who's just, I'm just really lucky.
Yeah. Ask yourself how many important roles, truly important roles you have in a session, and Lucky Ted is a fun character to play.
Yes.
Yeah. And I think we are
that's great.
And that's mechanics. We are done with mechanics. Yay. No, we are not. There's combat, but
it's so easy, combat, so fast.
Yeah. This game is quick. I feel like you could very easily get somebody into the system.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
I would say I like, again, the layout is really good, but I don't like this. Oh, now we have combat, and now we tell you what pages of combat there are. But put it all in the start, please. Because does it have anything at the start to tell me where stuff is?
Yeah, it does.
Oh, yeah, it does. Okay, fair.
There's a table of contents at the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. And then each individual chapter breaks it down.
It's actually broken. The problem is the TOC is actually busted. The way that they have it set out, it has like significant issues. At least in the navigatable table of contents.
Yeah.
They will do shit like you'll click on character options, and instead of being able to just jump to super mutant, you always jump to the top. Of like that thing. It's weird. It's strange.
I can't.
They did not do a good job of really nesting their options. Like, okay, so you look at character creation, and then you go into your stats, and it starts with strength, and then has perception, endurance, but then the rest are just listed. So they have separate navigatables for 3 of the stats, but then they don't for any of the others. Oh yeah, oh my gosh, this is a nightmare. This is actually a nightmare. I'm gonna send this into the Discord and show you this drop down. Look at this. Look at this shit. This is awful. This is not even like an issue with the layout. It's just whoever scanned this.
Oh no.
And made the PDF fucked up really bad.
Yeah, that's bad. That is terrible.
That is really bad.
They do that multiple times. So you'll have to jump to something and then scroll to it. That is gang, this is not how you make a PDF.
Oh yeah, this is terrible. Look at this.
So just to be clear, a lot of those weird navigation issues, I'm guessing, are due to trying to rush the digital release. Because fun fact, this game has an adventure in it that is a sequel to an adventure that you cannot play.
What?
Yes, the adventure that is included in the core book here says, hey, this is a sequel to the adventure Once Upon a Time in the Commonwealth, which is included in the Fallout, RPG starter set. That starter set does not exist yet. They have not put out the starter set.
Oh god, that's great. That's awesome.
Yeah.
What?
So you actually can't get it.
Oh, jeez.
It is so strange.
Awesome. Well, we should mention this book has 430 pages or something like that. So
Yeah,
this is a big one.
Modifius releases a giant fucking book. They have a cut down player's guide usually for their games, and you can buy a player's guide, but just buy the big book. It has everything you need.
Yeah, yeah. Is
And
this
it's only like $20 more.
right? Completely struggle to. I have not read everything because we only decided to do this on Thursday.
Yeah.
But I've looked
Just because
through
I
the
needed
book.
more time for Aberrant.
Exactly.
Yep.
I've looked through the book and completely struggled to think what else you would ever need. Unless you insist on not making up any sets for anything ever, and you just need more stuff.
I mean, if you wanted to include like, I could see them doing setting books. So again, this is a Modifius thing that they do pretty frequently, where they will create extra rule sets just in case you had issues ruling. Like for Conan, they put out like what is essentially the big book of magic users. Where it's like, okay, here's rules for gods and priests and weird mages and warlocks and shit. Or here's a core book for this other area that you might go to. So I could see them doing stuff for other wastelands, like going out to like breaking down here's how the Mojave and the West Coast works. Here's more of an East Coast.
Oh, they will never do the Mojave. They will never do it.
I wish.
Bethesda will not allow them. Because it doesn't make sense. It's its own thing.
They do refer to it, I believe. In this, I believe they do.
I don't believe it will ever be a thing because just. Let's keep this discussion for later.
Yes, let's keep going.
Is there anything?
Yeah, it's much later that they mention it.
Is there anything important to talk about with combat? It has good combat rules. They're very playable.
Yeah, it's
I would
fine.
say.
It's range band based combat, and they work just like a regular skill test. Yeah. It looks like you can die really easily. that is
easily.
My big takeaway. It looks like you can just get sniped in the neck.
The thing is, okay, weapons do up to 9 dice. The biggest I've seen is 9, which is like a grenade, a nuclear grenade or whatever. And then you roll the dice, and the most you can do is either 1 damage, 2 damage, or 1 damage into damage effect trigger, which I guess is whatever that
the
may
effect
be.
Triggers are stuff like you could have a weapon with breaking that breaks cover around the person, or blast where it hits another character within close range,
or it ignores damage reduction, stuff like that.
Simply put, you expect a 66% chance, about a bit more than that, to get a damage per guy, and you don't start with many hit points. I don't think.
It's your endurance plus your luck.
Yeah, great. So
I really like that, actually. That's really cool.
Yeah,
I like your luck factoring into your health.
So yeah, you die fast. Then that is for sure true. Yeah.
Straight
like
up,
you said, starts with a 15.
Run up to you and hit you with a fucking board, and you can just die. You can insta give. I kind of like that though. I have there's something in my heart for games in which you're all palling around and your spurs go jingle jangle jingle, and then somebody just fucking shoots you and your buddy Ted dies.
Yeah, fair. You have damage types. A few damage types. You have physical, energy, radiation, poison.
Yep.
Fair enough. As we all know from Fallout games, poison is the worst one in Fallout specifically.
Yeah, fuck that.
And radiation, you don't want to do radiation because most monsters are immune because they are all living out there, They do radiation to you. You don't really want to do radiation.
No, you do that to other humans.
Yeah, but it's also it's a Fallout radiation, so it's basically just, oh no, you irradiated me.
I got a little sticky.
How inconvenient! I'll have to take a pill later.
Oh no, my hair fell out. Oh well.
You have critical hits and injuries. I jokingly said that getting shot in the head with a critical injury is is better than getting shot in the arm.
It actually is,
shot in the arm, you drop the thing.
It actually is though. So yeah.
Drop your gun versus get a little dazed.
You drop your gun and your arm is broken. You can't use it. What the arm is like is you just fall over, and you can't move or can't only crawl. Torso is you just bleed out for 2 damage per round, per turn, which is a lot. Or is it 2 dice? No, it's 2 dice physical damage actually. So you could roll up to 4 damage, and ignores your damage resistance. Also very nice. And head is, you're dazed, you lose 1 turn, And then you have +2 to all
Yeah,
tactics,
but
which
you
rely
can
on
still
different.
spend AP for extra action.
More difficult.
I'd rather have +2 to difficulty and get from a headshot than whatever else could happen there. I have to say.
Yeah. Yeah,
Then
I would
bleed-
rather get shot in the head than get shot in the torso.
Yeah, if my max health is at level 1, if I really want it, is 20 and I bleed potentially 4 damage per turn, I would rather
Yeah.
get shot in the head. Yeah.
Yep.
The dying rules are fucking harsh. When your
yeah.
character is reduced to 0 HP, they suffer an injury to the location struck. So, by the way, this is exactly the same as FFG. So, when you're playing in the Fantasy Flight game system, when you go down, you suffer a critical injury immediately. And it's rough, and it can stack up really quick. So, I love that it's like, hey, if you get a critical hit and you're reduced to 0, you get 2 fucking critical injuries. Die.
I enjoy that it's the role you have to make is endurance plus survival. It's a very literal interpretation of survival. And I like it because survival in this game means you're a hard as person.
Oh yeah, it definitely means that.
I know what liking to eat and not to eat. It's really just
looking at this Fallout 76 art is making me fucking sad.
Yeah, that was for
I
sure.
remember being excited for that game.
We can say this right now because I said it earlier and you agreed.
Yes.
If this game had 25% less Fallout 4 and Fallout 76 in it, I would like it way more. Way more.
Me too.
Yeah.
Me too,
So,
definitely.
Okay. Can we talk about the armor system really quick?
Sure.
Yep,
I
absolutely.
I think that, again, this rule set here is fine, and now we get to character creation.
Totally fine.
Which we can jump over. We can go to armor.
Yeah, we can talk about equipment really quick and jump back to characters because I like the weapon system, and I like building. I like building shit. I like having a crafting member of the party who, because usually there's the one player who's like, I really like tricking out weapons, and that was the thing again I liked about Star Wars, where where it's like I want to add a laser sight or a scope to my rifle or a bipod. Or
I think it's kind of the idea is that one person does armor, one person does guns, one person does other stuff, and so on.
You know there's gonna be one guy who wants to do all the crafting, right?
Yeah, of course.
Oh yeah.
Like, fuck that. If I want to make a wasteland laser pistol gunslinger, I'm not gonna put any points into mods.
Yeah, I often played that character, especially in Shadowrun.
Oh yeah, this layout. Okay, I didn't realize because I never looked at it. This is also really bad. They're listing every single perk you can take as its own thing.
Oh, you like Fallout? List every perk.
Yeah.
Okay, I want to.
They do the exact same with the helmets too. Like all of the clothing and apparel.
Oh,
actually no. They list just regular apparel. Wait, this is weird. This is fucked up. Oh my god, this is weird. Anyways, it is the very basic Fallout 4 and 76 system where if you're wearing some stuff that's too bulky, you can't wear armor on top of it, so you have decided to wear a lab coat. Fucking die. No armor for you.
Awesome.
Yeah,
stupid.
It's fine. There's just an issue with piecemeal armor, and it's fine in a video game where something auto calculates where you're getting hit and all that stuff, but just like in second edition, so for those of you who did not play AD&D 2E, they included a piecemeal armor system. And it was where each of your armor pieces had a specific number, like it was like 1.5 or 2 or 2.5, and you would add all of them and then round down. So you would come out of it with like an AC of like 13 or 14 or maybe 16. But that was for players who were like, oh, I want to have a half plate pauldron and like arm piece, and I want to look like guts. You know, that was for that kind of player. And it was a fucking pain in the ass. It was such a pain. And again, that's fine in like a video game where you walk over and you go to a raider body and you go, oh, okay, he's got a leather arm and a leather chest piece. But then like you have to know every single piece of armor that every single raider has. Like, that's such a pain. And if they're just wearing a full set, then you're just giving your player away like a full set of armor, and that's not tenable in a game that's built on building up your character through their equipment. Like,
I mean, you can just say it's red armor, it sucks, which it does in the game.
It does
here. But
Yeah.
but
It's not
still,
it's
yeah.
not great, but
Then you come to the point where, okay, we're still gonna take all this loot because it's still valuable, right? This is a very gamey, it's a computer gamey RPG in that regard,
yeah,
because you
and you have
also
to
have,
focus on like weight and stuff, which
yeah,
nobody wants to do.
you also have, if you scroll up a bit, there's a scavenging table at the start of this chapter.
I actually like that scavenging stuff.
Um,
The way that they deal with scavenging in this game, I think, is fun. They make it kind of more of like a just like a
yeah,
short skill challenge in a scene,
yeah,
and I really enjoy that.
it is, on the one hand it's fine, on the other it's like, yeah, would you like to just roll the DM to not think about anything and just you find random ammo in this place because, well, why not? And where's the fucking mini nuke here? And they could also find 2mm Gauss rounds and whatever. That makes,
You could, yeah.
it would often make zero sense why that would be there, or why that would still be there. Let's say you have fought a bunch of raiders. Why would they not take the mini nuke and have that?
What if they don't have a mini loot? What if they don't have a launcher and they just found the nuke?
You still have it. You can totally. They are raiders. They can jury. They can just throw that and just tie it to some.
Yeah, you
dude.
just strap it. You just strap it to a sledgehammer.
Yeah, that's. I mean, that's super
You
mutants for you.
said, oh, now that I said that, that's
Start
awesome.
playing Reinhardt.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so cool. I want that character.
You might
The
not.
raider with the mini nuke sledgehammer who runs up, just smacks it, your whole party dies.
You might. Yeah, he does too. But who cares, right? And this, a
Throw
table
it like a
like this,
football.
table like this is fine if it's like, yeah, okay, we're looting this place. DM and the DM is just like, hey, let's just roll. Who cares? That's fine, but I feel it's not always appropriate. I'm not sure if this book says you should not always use
so
this. I don't know.
this kind of stuff, when I'm looking at this, it looks like they are focusing more on the actual rule set for scavenging later, which is, again, like I said, more of just a scene. It's not like, oh, hey, we killed these raiders, now we're going to loot all their stuff, roll on the scavenging tables. It's more like, hey, we're stopping by an old bombed out police station and we're going to roll to scavenge some stuff. And okay, we got some ammunition. Here's how much. Roll the dice, and there you go.
Yeah, that's that part is kind of fine because that is the drive-by looting that you do in the game as well.
Yeah.
I still think I would not, as a DM, want to use that. I want to make up what's there myself. That's
valid.
But it's always fine to include these lists because the DM can always not use them.
I tend to use these tables because I really liked hex crawls. I liked when my players were moving across a map, and so in that very Fallout 1 style, I like the idea of having the Indiana Jones line just being drawn from location to location and going, okay, well, you're scavenging this here and this here and this here, and then you have this encounter. I like that idea a lot. That's a
I
really
enjoy that too. Actually, it's one of my favorite things about actual exploration based roleplay. Is you'll find random stuff, and it is completely random.
I don't know. It's not that I don't enjoy that. Fine. It's just that. At least let's just agree that if it's a place I made up for a reason, like this is the big bad guy's lair, I shouldn't just roll if there's random underwear and ammunition in the lockers. I should know what's in there. But
yeah, you would randomly say, "Oh, he has 20 Umber Hulks." Gosh, who would have thunk it?
No. I think there's a huge difference between random encounters and random like loot locations and a well-designed area.
Oh yeah.
Which, yeah, I honestly, this is going to sound really strange. I think that those random encounters and those randomly generated loot tables actually lend more weight to when you've actually designed something, because your players are like, oh, holy shit, everything makes a lot of sense, and then it kind of increases that little sense of verisimilitude that place is a real place, because instead of just finding random garbage, they're actually finding something that you've curated.
Yeah,
I like creating that difference.
Yeah, true. I agree there. I agree too. Well, what I don't like about this is just this is too much stuff, and all of these modifications, they feel like they're straight out of a game.
I love them, and again, that's just because I really enjoy that that Star Wars game, which was predicated on your leveling up your equipment more than your character. and
I guess
I enjoy that in a scavenging based system.
my
Like,
issue, my ultimate issue would be there's never a downside here. It's just have blacksmith 3, then have extra flame jets, which just adds 1 damage and persistent,
Yeah.
I guess.
Yep.
Yeah. I don't want it to be this curated. I want there to be some freedom if I have my perk that says I can invent weapons. I don't want to make shish kebab 1 die better. I want to make my own thing. That's
which I guess you would have to kind of talk to your GM about doing that and figure out that stuff. That's the only issue that I take a lot of umbrage with in this equipment system, because it's so heavily entrenched in Fallout 4 and 76 that you're not going to get a lot of really cool, unique weapons. Like, you know, let's say I introduce a guy who's a new Canaanite. I introduce this guy called Preacher, and he's a new Canaanite, and I want him to have a very unique 45 ACP pistol, because that's the thing that Canaanites use. Like, how am I going to model this? This game gives me no guideline for creating that, and their loot tables are explicitly for what they actually do have a 45
I think
pistol
they do,
round.
yeah.
I don't think they have, again, that stuff, and that's where, like, you're alienating people who want to use, like, 9mm pistols from New Vegas, or, you know, the 45 autos if they're a Canaanite.
Yeah,
Like, just the amount of stuff here is so based in 4 and 76 that it hampers it a little bit. It hinders the game just slightly.
And obviously you can be like, yeah, make up your own stuff. It's just you have 3 different pistols here. Just look at them. What would your pistol have? It was about the same thing, right? And
not gonna lie, 9mm is about the same as a 38.
Yeah.
They're the same size, pretty much. Bullet. They're basically the same round.
And then then you do that, and then you realize, okay, maybe they would have put it in there if they could have found a meaningful difference, but there really isn't one. So, but instead of calling
it's because they're selling the pipe guns.
Oh, I hate the pipe guns, by the way. That's the worst
part.
Fucking
selling the pipe guns so hard. I hated it.
The pipe guns.
I hate that.
Worst part of Fallout, that most of the loot you get is just, another heater someone rebuilt to shoot pistol rounds. It makes no sense. And they always look like shit, and they are never good. And sell 500 of them to the next trader.
And then you have shit like, oh hey, this pipe gun can fire 308. No, it can't. 308 creates so much fucking pressure that the thing would fly apart in your hands. What are you talking about?
Yeah. It would explode in your hands.
Very
I
thick
built
pipes.
a fucking revolver pipe pistol to shoot 308 rifle. What are you talking about, you fucking moron?
They ripped really thick lead pipes out of the walls.
Oh yeah, it's really thick. Yeah,
it's super thick.
Yeah, it can contain all of that barrel pressure.
I call this my milkshake gun. It's so thick.
Milk baby gun.
And oh god, we
Milk
can never.
Baby in the Fallout universe fucking uses a syringe rifle.
Away. We can never get
away. I'll never let you away.
And here we get to another small problem I have with the art. This is clearly Fallout 3 design art, because where are the fucking sights? This thing, very nicely put, is a sight. I mean, the laser rifles looking like this never made sense, because this thing. Oh yeah, I dare to look at it wrong. It's now out of alignment and will not work. That's what it looks like. Always looked like to me. And here you see no sights, nothing at all. How do you properly hold this? Why is there a thing here? The plasma pistol is even worse.
So when you were checking out the laser musket, those are actually graduated musket sights.
Yeah.
Which are really weird to aim, and you have to learn how to do it. It's similar to aiming like a mortar.
Yeah, thing is,
because you have to adjust your sight based on where it's going to be. So like, you will see people firing muskets at like a 45-degree angle and dropping the bullet onto stuff.
But Emery, it's a laser. It does not have fall off.
Exactly. So there's no reason to use graduated musket sights.
There's no reason to use sights like that. No.
When people were complaining about the lack of sights on laser weapons, I was like, "What?" Because you point it. You point it and it shoot in a direction and it hit the thing. So you don't even need to line up the back.
Sights
just put like a ball.
Sights still would be a thing, but not a complicated one. Yeah, they would have
all you have to do is put like a bead, like a shotgun.
This is the normal laser rifle, as seen in Fallout 3, and it has exactly nothing. There's no sight at all.
man. Oof.
And
Ah,
with the plasma
that
gun,
shit makes me nuts. I fucking hate the laser musket so much.
yeah, I hate all of the. The design
it.
is simultaneously cool and looks kind of okay, but it makes no sense as a weapon because again, it's not. It doesn't look usable to me. Like
I hate
not
the crank.
yes.
Yes.
Yeah. What is that there for? Just so you can simulate having to reload the powder? So that is complicated. There's the big design.
No, it's
Emery,
because you have to roll the little gears around to charge up the laser. Don't you know?
yeah, because you
Hand crank it
fucking
because you
hand
can definitely
crank.
generate enough fucking power to fire a laser charge.
Maybe you hand crank the next battery into place.
And then
Hey, hold on. Let me get on my treadmill to
insane
recharge
thing.
it.
Last thing I swear, and I'll get off this fucking musket. But when you use the laser musket in the base game without any modifications, it doesn't use a breeder cell, which would make sense. Where it's like, oh, I'm charging up the breeder cell like a regular breeder laser rifle, where it just recharges over time, and maybe it doesn't have the interior coils that it needs to recharge, but like it fires out of your regular pool of energy cells, so that means you have to slot an energy cell into it and then crank it.
Yeah, you know what they do? They take the energy cell, bite off the top, and you stuff it in the front.
Yeah, of course. It's a muzzle loading laser rifle.
If it was muzzle loading, I'd like it better.
Yeah, you crank it because you crank the next thing into place on the battery. Yeah.
I'm gonna fucking scream again.
And every time you fire it, you break the crystal, so you have to load in a new laser crystal.
I hate it. It's so bad.
Yeah.
You have to bite the crystal.
Out of your crystal horn that you have on your back.
You know what I would have liked better if the Minutemen used actual fucking muskets.
Yes.
I think that would have been cooler.
Yes, that would have been cooler.
Just huge blunderbusses that just shoot. I don't know, the kitchen
Plasma
sink,
blunderbusses. Yeah.
It just make
actually,
it plasma
hold on. A
because
plasma blunderbuss would be actually kind of cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, I mean, it wouldn't would it work? I don't know, but it would be cool. Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
You know what? I just figured it out. You know what it should have been instead of a hand crank? It should have been a rolling block rifle.
Sorry, what?
Rolling block rifles are like very, very basic bolt actions that came out like just after the revolution, and you basically crank back the bolt and then you slide the round in.
Oh
yeah. That would make sense. So you like use the hunting rifle animation and click, slap the energy cell in, and then click, back into place. That would make sense. Yeah. Which, by the way, people were hunting like just after the revolution with rolling blocks. They were a very, very common firearm. So like that would make sense.
Yep. Extremely common.
Crank. You gotta get the crank.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. All right.
No, I'm just imagining it being lever action and starting this all over again.
Don't. You can't use my love of lever action firearms against me, please. I beg of you.
Okay, I would like again, this book would be better with less direct Fallout 3 and 4 references and just as a more generic setting thing.
Yeah, if it was just Fallout, that would be much better. Yeah. But they have to be big. Like, why is there a whole section on cooked food?
Yeah,
that's fucking awesome.
It's both awesome and very, very, very bad.
Yeah.
Because we're
very gamey.
The bad part about this. Let's go back to character creation. So we can breeze through the first part because everyone has seen this. You have strength, perception, endurance, charisma, intelligence, agility, and luck. So you are we are all special.
They can't go below 4 though.
Can't go below 4. And you start at 5 normally, and you can get I think 6 points to distribute. Yes. And promote their cookbook. That could be it. That could be it. Maybe they make it a cookbook. Yeah, you can't be really stupid or really bad at anything because the worst attribute you can have is 4, which I vehemently disagree with. Why is that a thing?
Minimum should be 1.
Yeah,
minimum should be 1. That would be amazing.
I think
so good.
Yeah, I think the system breaks down if you don't have any attribute points. But at the same time, if the guy who's just standing there drooling because he has seen a butterfly half an hour ago, if you let them do the intelligence check, maybe that's a bad idea.
Maybe but here's the other thing. Like in earlier Fallout games, it mattered if you had 1 intelligence because you'd be a babbling moron. But then in 4, which this game is directly working off of, having 1 intelligence doesn't mean anything.
Yeah, it
doesn't mean anything at all.
In Fallout 4, the stats did nothing except to tell you what perks you could get. They
So
did
like this is
literally
very
nothing.
similar, where it's just it's incredibly frustrating.
It's not
It
similar
is.
because the attributes here govern your target numbers, so they are actually important.
Hmm. I would, you know what? I would probably make a change to this and say like you can't have it go below like I think 2. I think 2 is a good baseline.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's fine by me.
2 makes sense. 2
I
makes
think
sense.
Because then
yeah.
the lowest roll you're going to get is you need to get a success on a 2 or a 1, which is incredibly fucking difficult. But at 10% chance, that seems fair to me. If you want to build
Yeah.
towards like being a babbling moron with melee weapons,
Yeah,
fine by
sure.
me.
So let's then you have your skills, which you also
Mhm.
so this is already better than what Fallout 4 did.
Yep, you actually have skills that work.
Yes, you have skills. Isn't that nice? It's almost like this is a role playing game with
Yeah.
character instead of just
And you want to actually build like a character instead of just
character
being
action
generic.
game. Yeah.
Good man.
Generic husband
I,
or wife.
Competent man.
I also like the certain things I near, like for example, big guns is dependent on your endurance, not your agility. So
Yeah, I think that's great.
making the big tough guy is automatically good at shooting, so he can stand in front with the minigun, which is nice.
Yeah, so if
Well,
you're playing the toughest guy, then using the minigun is a good idea.
Yeah.
I
they're
like
not
though
ammo.
that they mention, oh, that's the default, but in certain situations, hey, you could use this attribute instead.
True.
Yeah.
For example, if you want to know something about your gun, you might have to do it with intelligence instead of with whatever you use it to shoot with.
I'm sorry, I thought you said if you want to learn something about your gun, you need to spend an action point. One of the GM would tell you.
How does this load, DM?
You just can't get into that conversation with the DM. You have to
Oh,
ask your questions first and then ask about rolling something.
Yeah.
It's a lever action Gatling gun.
One thing. I mean that has basis in reality though. That was a thing.
No, it doesn't. The Gatling gun was operated by a crank.
That's a lever, basically. Come on.
No, it's not.
Oh, come
it's a
on.
different functioning system.
It's
A Gatling gun works on cranking over and using an automatic firing pin that would rock back and forth, and then dropping all of the ammo in by gravity. Like it was.
Yeah,
it was
relying on gravity.
Okay, so you're saying
I
it was
actually got to
basically-
shoot a Gatling gun.
Yeah, it was
The
basically
original gravity gun.
As I said, basically a lever. It's just a different thing. A lever, but different. Let's agree.
I'm foaming at the mouth right now. I'm foaming at the mouth. I hate this.
And there's some more skills that you can have, and you already know these. I would say.
Oh yeah, it's all the same.
With all of these,
It's your usual shit. Usual Fallout.
Throw in pilot
I think
from
you get-
Fallout Tactics. You
you
know.
get 9
Yeah.
points plus your intelligence attribute in skill points to start.
I'm gonna
The
be
most-
real. I fucking love having a pilot skill.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
me
that
too.
is something that like Fallout 5, quote unquote, big quote unquote, because we don't know if that's ever going to happen now, or if it's
Fallout
going to
77.
Yeah. I like how we're getting the most visceral reactions out of me today.
Hey,
But,
when it's something you love, you know.
But I would like if they actually could include, mounts or vehicles and shit like that to actually get
Yeah.
around a much bigger map.
Yeah, I mean, they managed to do it in Skyrim, so
Yeah. Maybe having a motorbike would be fucking cool.
yeah, maybe a
Flyover
tank.
bird. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. I mean, they did it in Fallout
The,
Tactics. That was actually pretty fun.
Yeah, the conceit of walking around a big map that's contiguous it's not impressive anymore. With 3 it was a little impressive, and it makes sense in the engine because they refused to make a better engine. But yeah,
And like New Vegas, it was nice because like at any point you could look around and have interesting shit to look at. I tested out the 3-point thing, like the method of design that they did for Fallout New Vegas, where it's like any point on the map, if you look in 360 degrees, you should be able to see at least 3 points of interest, and you always can. I tried that in Fallout 4. I was playing a little bit of it like 2 nights ago because I've just been fucking around with it, trying to figure out if I actually enjoyed the game anymore, and I hadn't played it in years. And I looked around and like there were multiple points where there was just fucking nothing, or it's like, oh, that's a big wall of shit, and that's like up an overpass, and I can't really see anything that would be interesting to go to. So I just walk forward down the road, and that is very frustrating.
yeah,
That's awful.
The big compass kills all those games for me now.
Turn it off.
But then you can't play the game. That's the problem.
Yeah, exactly.
The game is
exactly.
contingent upon you having that, so you can point you at your quest, because otherwise, oh yeah, find the tape here in this base. Good fucking luck finding anything at all.
Yeah, it needs to be pointed directly out. But anyways, so yeah, you get your skill points, but like outside of that, you have your carry weight and your regular shit. You know, your defense.
Right. You have
and
you have
all that nonsense.
I think 3 tech skills. And the tech skill is simply you get I think you get a bonus. No, right. Your if it's a tech skill, so you have your target number plus skill, which is for example 10.
Yeah.
And if 5 of that is from your skill and it's a tech skill, then your critical range is from 1 to 5.
Yep.
And that is a good
love
rule.
it.
I like that rule is really good. I do like it, yeah.
I think that's like the best takeaway from this so far. Like
the idea
compared
of
to everything else we've read so far.
giving you criticals on like then like you don't have to spend any more AP to generate a ton of successes for your tag skills. If you're a gunslinger, you're really good at doing that, you know?
Exactly.
I love that. And you know, score as many critical successes as you can. I like them differentiating critical success and critical hits.
Yeah. This rule also made me mellow a bit on the whole AP thing. Just because it means if I'm a cool sniper, I can crit on 1 to 6 if I'm just put all things into my gun skill and then have high good agility. I'm usually gonna do at least 1 success, and there's a good chance I do 2 or 3. That seems fair to me. That's okay.
Oh yeah,
I think that's nice.
Yeah.
I really like it actually.
Carry weight, which no one's gonna use. Because unless you have an online tool to track the weight of your gear. Yeah, exactly.
I want to see, do they have an online tool? Probably not.
Then you have some resistances, which basically is if you don't have agility 9 or more, you get 1 defense, and maybe you get 2 defense if you're really agile. I'm not sure what defense does. I think is it just
the number of successes required to hit you.
Okay. It's defense 1 just useless then?
Defense 1, they just need 1 success to hit you.
So it's useless. Yeah. Okay.
So it's benefiting players who have really high agility, and that's it.
Yeah, that's it.
Basically, everyone can get shot really good, wear armor, but if you have really high agility, it reminds me of there's a lightly armored feat in New Vegas where like just people could not hit you if you were wearing light armor. It would like I think it would just reduce it by like 15%, like your chances of actually getting shot.
Okay.
Yeah, there's something like that. There are perks that increase your defense further.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
Don't quite
you
remember.
Can stack them.
And then you have some resistances. You have extra melee damage if you're a strong guy.
Which I like that, you know, but it's only above 7. That's really cool.
Yeah. There's an 11 plus here, which is only for super mutants, I think.
Super mutants can get up to 12.
Yeah.
If you're a super mutant, you don't have 12 strength, what are you doing?
Yeah. We're going to get to super mutants. You get health.
Oh yeah, I have something to say about super mutants.
I do too.
When we get there.
Yeah, we are going to get there quite soon. And then you get
it is talking about the image that they use.
And then you get a perk. Oh no, and then you can choose a perk.
Yep.
And you can level up, which is here. And then you choose now we create a character. So we choose an origin. It's either Brotherhood Initiate. So we are one of the Brotherhood, which I hate because
you could get either Initiate or Scribe.
Nope, there's no Scribe in here.
There is. Yes, there is. When you choose a Brotherhood Initiate, you get an equipment package for either.
Okay, But the perk you get is the same thing. So you always get one additional tech skill, which must be energy, weapons, science, or repair. So if you pick those 3, the system is silent, but you can assume you just pick another one then. And you are in the military basically, so you have to follow the orders.
You always have you always have a superior, which that's one of those things that I'm lukewarm on because it's entirely dependent on whether or not your GM is an asshole or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like if you're playing D&D 5e and you pick like Knight of the Order, it's basically the same shit. And that's like I think my favorite background in 5e, but like if your GM is an ass, then you're screwed.
Yeah, it's also a thing. This book is very, very silent on a Brotherhood Initiate, a ghoul, a super mutant, and a Mr. Handy walk into a bar. How the fuck did this party form? This is not normal.
How would like most of the the Brotherhood Initiate wouldn't like a third of the cast list.
Yes.
Yeah. The only situation where it would happen would be like the situation happened in Fallout 2, where the Brotherhood guy and Marcus hung out for
Yeah.
quite a
Yeah.
while.
Yeah.
But that was it. That's the
They
only
fought for like
example.
3 days straight.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They had a huge bromance, and I'm just like, gosh, I wish we could have experienced that. Why are we talking to me about it now?
You know,
Ugh, hated that.
you could also deal with like the West Coast Brotherhood where they're like deteriorated and they kind of suck.
Yeah, I mean, the
Mhm.
West Coast Brotherhood is the realistic depiction to me.
Yeah, I like it.
Because
Yeah,
they're
it really is.
isolationists who don't do anything with the outside world, and the
Yeah,
outside
they're
world's
idiots.
leaving them
Mhm.
behind.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
Yeah.
Yeah.
the
So if you're
East
playing
Coast
like
Brotherhood,
Veronica, you're fine.
yeah, the East Coast Brotherhood just has plot
Mhm.
armor for no reason, and
Yeah,
then a
they're
big
action
airship
heroes
for no reason. Yeah,
Mhm.
it's very dumb.
And then the branch of it in Fallout Tactics is just like, okay, this is the most realistic depiction of them. They're a military organization. Of course, they're going to
Yeah.
go conquering things.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Ugh,
think that was
but
like
that's not canon. So
Was that in
whatever.
Texas canonically? I mean, it's not canon, I know.
Yeah, it was in Texas, wasn't it?
Yeah, I think it was. What?
Pretty sure.
And I don't
Yeah, it was the
remember.
Texas Brotherhood. It was in Tactics.
Could be.
They started in
I think they have to go
I think
somewhere.
they started in Illinois. I don't remember.
Okay, Illinois.
Oh,
I'll
Also-
look.
that
Uh,
place sucks.
Okay, so either way, so can be the only difference you have between your classes is Brotherhood
A trait.
Initiate just gets these perks. That's it. That otherwise you're a human and you have all the things we already said. Ghoul,
Mhm.
basically you're also a human, but you get radiation heals you.
Yep. And you also
Um,
get survival as a tag skill, so you get a 4th tag skill,
Yeah.
and it increases it by 2 ranks.
I think
Mhm.
almost everyone gets a fourth tag skill. But yeah, you
Yeah.
always get survival and
Almost
you
everyone, yeah.
always have 2 extra ranks in it.
Yep.
Um,
I like ghouls. I
and
think they're cool.
ghouls are cool.
I
Yeah.
like them too.
And you age slower, which yeah, okay, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Increasing
I like the idea of
difficulty.
playing
Yeah,
like a 250-year-old asshole.
it's harder to be charismatic as this guy, which yeah, okay, understandable. And yeah, super mutants, who get +2 to his strength and endurance, which can be
Yeah.
increased to 12. But your maximum intelligence and charisma are both reduced to 6.
Yeah.
So you can't be super smart, which okay.
Oh yeah. Except the image that they use is Virgil, a super mutant who
Yeah.
is super smart.
Also,
Yeah.
you may not have more than 4 ranks in any skill. You're completely immune to radiation poison damage, meaning, if we scroll up just a little bit, so the only skills and super mutant can be on the same level as other characters is big guns, athletics, survival, unarmed, and that's it.
Mhm.
Oh, they were actually correct. I fucked up. I was about to be like, oh, I'm gonna teach them some shit, and I'm gonna go in and look at their special stats from Brian Virgil. After becoming a super mutant, his intelligence is actually 5. His int gets halved. He goes from 10 to
Yeah.
5. Shit.
Which
Mhm.
not all
completely
super
forgot that.
mutants are extremely stupid. That's wrong. The rank and
5
file are
intelligence is
mostly
pretty average.
stupid.
Yeah.
The depiction of super mutants here is also very much from 3 and 4, which I also don't like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like him.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And again,
Oh,
you are just
They're
worse
just- they're
as a super
worse.
mutant. You're functionally worse. Yes, you have a bit more hit points, and you hit a bit harder with your big meaty fist, but otherwise you suck.
yeah.
And that is
Yeah, I don't know what's
sad.
up with that 4 ranks. That doesn't make any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They should just be like, so your intelligence and charisma are 6 and your maximum skill is 4. So for those skills, for every int skill, which is like 6 of them, so for medicine, repair, science, charisma, speech, and barter, you are at maximum of 10. Then
Yep.
most of them are 14, and then 5 of them are 16. That's not very nice. You just get shoehorned into being the big weapons guy, which is okay. I mean, fine. You're a super mutant, but
You're
why
absolutely huge.
why can't they be better at that at least? At those things.
Okay, so
It's just
looking at
worse.
this, where like skills are on that rank between 0 and 6,
Yep.
so maxing out at 4 isn't the worst it could be. I don't like it, but like it does feel like a strange cap. It looks like it's trying to make it even for stuff like athletics, where it's like, oh, a super mutant could just have enormous big guns or athletic skills and roll fucking with an 18 if
Yeah.
they're
Yeah.
maxed out in both. And it's like,
Mhm.
okay, good, fine. All right.
Yeah. I mean,
Yeah.
if you give them,
Okay.
if you make them have 10 in several skills, give them at least something for the other ones. It's not.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know. It's just meh.
Yeah, it's a
Fine.
little meh. It's a little yeah.
I mean, okay,
Oh,
they
and
can.
we hit the point that I absolutely fucking hate, that they don't include any robots except for Mr. Handy's.
Yeah,
Mhm.
indeed.
There's no
Robot,
sense. There's no
robot.
Protectrons.
Yeah, robot should just be another thing and just give us a bigger arm attachment list,
Yeah.
basically,
Yeah.
and
Hey,
a
I'm
bigger
gonna bring
perk
this up
list.
for like the 15th fucking time. In the FFG Star Wars game, this cribs from a ton. The robot is just a class, and you could be
Yeah.
R2, you could be a fucking security guy, you could be whatever, but it's just you are a robot, and you have a basic like trait, and then whatever else you have, you build from there. But like with this, because the critical system is built on like the hit locations, if you wanted to make like a Protectron or like a Securitron or something like that, like my German player was talking about, he wanted to be a Securitron from New Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like,
Mhm.
oh, that's really cool. And then I look at that and I'm like, okay, so you have to cut out one of these arms because they only have two arms. Everything else is fine, but like, what what does that do then? Like, I have to split the points between 9 and 17 between two arms,
I mean, you
and that's
can.
a pain in the ass for me. I have to write him a
Yeah,
custom hit chart.
man, you can do that, but
Mhm.
it's not great.
Yeah.
Also, if you're playing a Mr. Handy, they can fucking fly. Where's that?
It's in there. It's in their trait.
Is it?
Yes. So you move by jet propulsion, hovering above the ground, unaffected by difficult terrain or obstacles. Your carry weight is 150 pounds, and it
Oh, yeah.
cannot be increased by your
Perfect.
strength or perks, but it can be increased by modified armor.
So,
Okay.
so yeah, you hover above the ground. So, firstly, apparently we just hover forever, which I guess it's Fallout. It's fine. I guess they just do that.
Mhm.
Mr. Cotsworth could do it for 200 years, I guess.
Yeah.
But
Despite the fact that they obviously need fuel, and
yeah,
there's
Yeah.
fuel that you can find.
yeah,
I do.
I don't like the idea that you can just be a robot, to be honest. And
Really?
yeah, and not on principle. I mean, you can make it that up. You can be. I can see the character making sense, but just being a random Mr. Handy who's been out in the desert for 200 years, so somehow not falling apart, somehow still having jet fuel to fly,
Yeah.
makes no sense to me.
It would make more sense to be like a Protectron or a Securitron.
Yeah.
Or a synth. Why do I have no rules for synths?
You should have that.
'Cause
Like
they're-
You're
honestly.
cribbing so much from Fallout
No.
4. Where the fuck is the one synthetic humanoid?
But they can't. They can't do the spoiler. They can't tell you that synths are in the game.
By the way, they actually have a rule for making an NPC a synth, is you add a synth component to their inventory, and I think they get an extra damage resistance.
Yeah, oh god, I hate the Fallout 4 story so much. Anyway, let's
They
talk
took the
about that
one really
later.
good quest from Fallout 3 and made it an entire game.
Yeah, exactly. And the game is not good.
But
So,
yeah.
and
Then you have two different other types of humans,
Yeah.
survivors and vault dwellers.
Survivor I like
Mhm.
because you get a bunch of traits which you can choose through
Yeah.
from.
Yeah.
And I mean,
It's a little more traditional.
it's not many, but they have a downside, which is always cool. I like
Mhm.
traits that have upside and downside.
That's
Yeah.
It's really neat. I think
like it too.
it's really cool.
I think
I like
Vault,
educated.
Yeah.
That's fun.
yeah, Vault Dweller just gets what's that you can here? A additional attack skill, but when you fail a skill test using a skill other than your attack skill, the gem gains 1 AP. So yeah, the gem
Yep.
also gets action points if
They have an unlimited pool of AP, and they use it to activate enemy abilities and stuff like that. Just specialty stuff like D&D legendary actions and things. I
Yep.
made a joke ages ago, or wait, not ages ago, 2 days ago. What the fuck? About like, oh yeah, you want to get really pissed off about the AP system, huh? Well, yeah, these raiders that you fought yesterday, I'm going to use their AP they generated to have the Deathclaw do an extra attack tomorrow.
yeah, yeah.
The Deathclaw feels the malicious energy, the Satsui no Haru from the raiders, and kills you.
Yeah, which again, that's why I don't like it. It doesn't have to be connected.
Yeah.
It's if anyone is an asshole in that system, it's just gonna break down.
Literally, this is a game you can only play with friends.
Yeah.
Do not play this with random people.
Next, yeah, right, and then Plus the Worldwilders get extra skill and stuff. It's fine. It's okay.
Yeah, they get a
Um,
bonus tag skill of your
Yep.
choice, and you reduce the difficulty of endurance test to like deal with disease. But it's like that's fine, but
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. It's just like how often does disease come up in these games? Realistically.
They're very
Yeah.
much in the computer game mindset where it's just, the rat bit you, here's the disease. They're probably not
Mhm.
even going to notice it. It's going to run its course and it's going to be gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is not something that happens in a tabletop, I can tell you.
Mhm.
Dude, Gifted is fucking broken in this system.
Let me just look at Gifted. Choose two special attributes to increase
Yeah.
them by 1. Maximum number of luck points is 1 fewer than you luck. So you can just say Gifted plus 2 luck,
that,
lol.
yeah.
And you have 1 more luck than you would have
Mhm.
for free.
Exactly, yeah.
Yep.
Okay, cool. Yeah, fair.
Yeah, you could get a free luck stat and then, free agility or something
Do
like
you
that.
ever
It's
get to
crazy.
increase your stats in this?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Good, good. But yeah, and then we tag some skills. What tags do we already said? What skill ranks said we also said. And then we choose our first perk. And there's many
Okay, and
perks
there's
here, and
so many fucking perks.
many of them are shit, straight up shit.
Mhm.
Also, you can really tell which ones were made for this game and which ones weren't. Because like you look at Dodger and the quality of the art versus something like Center Mass, which is like made for I think 3 in New Vegas, and like just
Yeah,
there's a certain
yeah.
quality to them that is not
That
it's
super
not
mutant
right.
is terrible.
Mhm.
Why
Yeah,
is
he
he
looks
even?
really bad.
Why is he even there? There's already bullets flying. Let's use this with the bullets. It's fine.
Yeah.
Um,
But anyways, there's a lot of shit. I
yeah.
enjoy the perk system. I think it's neat.
I
Oh
think
yeah. I've always been a fan.
most of these are bad. That's my problem with them.
Oh, okay.
Like,
So hold on. What's your opinion of a bad perk in this?
let me just look. I had a good one. Which one was the one where I stopped reading these? Can do.
Okay. Yeah. Gain additional random food item. Yeah.
Yep.
So good.
Without spending AP. So you.
It's
Oh
so
wow.
I'm gonna say the absolute worst perk is Black Widow and Lady Killer. Fuck that. Like, why are we still doing this? Why are we still doing this? And it's only has one rank, so you only pick one. Like, what the hell? Why are you forcing me to do that? That's
Yeah.
like,
Can you pick both though?
you should be able to. I wish, but you can't. No, it's only one. I don't know why. It's really strange. I guess they really didn't like the bisexual plus 5% damage against everybody.
Yeah, that's dumb.
That's the
Yeah,
best build in New Vegas.
yeah, it is. Also,
Being bisexual gives you a mathematical advantage in New Vegas.
yeah,
I would give this perk 2 ranks and allow you to pick both.
yeah, I would too.
Mhm.
Wait.
However, that does make it like an instant like metagamer perk where it's like, well, yeah, I'm just
Wait,
gonna
this
take
is a
that
book in
more damage.
2021 where they
Yeah,
don't give you the option to be. Oh wow, yeah, great.
yeah, that's weird. Yeah, because I guess
Mhm.
it's like by default, but now I guess you have a preferred. Which also, if you're
By
talking about
default.
Fallout,
Dang
By
it.
if you're
the
talking about
the by default,
default,
yeah.
yeah, it's ridiculous. I think it's strange.
That's just amazing to me. They
Mhm.
couldn't.
Yeah, it's so poorly it's so poorly implemented because it's like you could have put a different perk in there. I guess people
Oh,
would
Yeah,
yeah.
expect it or something, but you could put something else in there. Fuck that.
Easily could have done anything else with it.
I'm gonna be real. I would have rather had sneering imperialist than that. You guys remember that perk?
Uh,
It's a New Vegas Honest Hearts perk
don't remember
that
that.
makes you better at fighting the Zion tribes and like raiders. It is like
okay.
super sketchy. It's like the most problematic perk in that game.
Oh
But
god.
like, man, I don't like Black Widow and Lady Killer. I think that forcing a player to choose that is like really lame.
Yeah,
Just don't bother including it then.
it's one of
Yeah.
those things
Okay,
Just don't.
you would pick because it's at level one, and the other level one perks are all garbage, and
how
that's
about
why
this?
that's
How
a
about this?
meme.
Make it Casanova, and then remove the damage bonus.
Yeah,
You're
Yeah.
just better at charisma skill checks. There you go. Boom.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. talking about level 1 perks, fuck
Mhm.
comprehension. It's
Um,
ridiculous.
fuck, a chemist is also.
Take dog meat.
Look at chemist.
Yeah, chems you make
Because
last
you
twice as long.
because you are smart, chems you create last twice as long as normal.
Yeah,
In addition, you unlock
you
chem
make good drugs.
recipes that have the perks of yeah. I don't. What? What skill is this based? Is medicine? So if I have 6 medicine but don't have chemist, I can't make any drugs. As is
No, you can't make
Can't
the
make
more
the
powerful
special
stuff.
drugs.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't make the special stuff.
Yeah,
You
I
can still
don't.
make regular stuff.
Yeah, I don't like.
Yeah.
No, you can't because everything has a requirement of these stats of these perks.
I don't have a problem with that though.
Yeah.
Like I don't have an issue with somebody being like, oh, I want to make like fucking buff jet or something. Like, okay, then yeah, you have to be a chemist to understand how to mix those drugs.
On
Yeah.
on the one hand, I don't have a problem with it. On the other hand, why is it a perk? Why isn't it a skill?
Because the perk would be required to deal with the crafting element.
Yeah,
So again,
but
similar
Yeah.
to like
yeah,
armor
but
or
why
blacksmith.
is
Yeah.
any crafting perk related?
Why why couldn't it?
Yeah,
It's
why?
perfectly fine to ask a player to
Yeah.
use something that's built on their progression to engage with a system that's going to be leveling your character.
Yeah,
through
but you
setting
can
up-
also level a skill with your progression
Yeah,
points,
you
and
could.
that's the exact same
Exactly.
thing. And it's
Yeah.
in my
Mhm.
opinion. So if I have a repair skill, and
Mhm.
is there anything else that governs anything? I guess you don't roll anything to craft in this game. How does this work?
Um, hmm.
Mm.
I don't like what they did to jury rigging, by the way.
I have no idea how that works. Like, I didn't, like I said, couldn't read all of this
Yeah.
book.
It's all good. It's fine. Like jury rigging, you know it. You can just repair shit with other shit of the same class. But in this, it's just like you can repair it without spending any components, but the
Can-
item will break again when you fuck up with it the next time.
Yeah. On page 212, it mentions when attempting to craft an item requires a skill test using intelligence plus the listed skill.
Okay.
So if you're going to make big guns, intelligence plus big guns.
Oh god, that's even worse. That means everyone
So I
has to have a
assume
crafting
so,
skill.
unless it's saying repair instead. Yeah, it's saying repair for most things instead. I'm wrong.
Okay, repair.
It looks like repair or science are usually what you use.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
explosives for explosives.
So like
And
I
then
can
survival for like food.
I can understand that didn't want to be like, okay, if you have repair, you can basically make all the things in our game.
Mhm.
But you have to take 4 levels of chemist or 4 levels of big gun build, whatever that is, weapon crafting, to be able to build everything and that's in the game. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
I guess chemist is on just 1 level because that thing only has
Yeah,
just 1
chemist is
rank.
one. It's a yes or no.
That's
But then
one.
you've got like fucking the issue that I had with Fallout 4, which is like, oh, you have gun nut and armor and blacksmith and science, and like, why do I need 4 different fucking perks to craft shit?
Yeah.
Like, I just want to make a do new receiver for my gun. That's all I want. But it's like, nope, gun nut 4. This is a 44 Magnum. It's very
But
strong.
yeah, you do encounter that later. Like if you want to make a jetpack, you need the armor 4 perk and the science 4 perk.
Yeah, so like, why
So
don't I just go to somebody in a town that like, why
Yeah.
don't I just find a gunsmith?
Yeah.
mhm.
Hey GM, I want to talk to these traders and see if they know of any gunsmiths around. I'm gonna go find the gun runners. Like instead of
Yeah.
putting points in a fucking gun nut.
The yeah, that's that. I guess here's my actual problem with this. So if I want to eventually be any build in this game, I will have to know at level 1 what I want to do as a build. So this is the D&D 3.5 problem where I know, okay, I want to get prestige class XYZ. So at level 2 I have to be rogue, and at level 3 I take wizard, and then I do this and that. And
Yeah.
I start as rogue because then I get more skill points, and then I basically know my character at level 1, and at least to a progression
There's
until
no
level
real
5 or 6.
discovery.
There's no discovery, and I can't even be spontaneous because then my build is gonna suck. Because
Exactly. You can't.
and the same thing here. I mean, maybe I can be like, okay, I won't take blacksmith 3 on the minimum level. I can take it. I'm gonna take it a bit later. Because I happen to have found this other thing that needs this skill. But I know I will have to lose 3 of my perks to be blacksmith, because if I don't, I can't craft the best stuff.
Yeah, 3 out of your 20.
Yeah.
So I math that one out, like it takes 16 levels of perks to craft everything. 17 if you're including chemist.
Yeah.
Great.
So that's 3 perks that you get to work with. 3 to 4 perks, depending if you want to be able to craft literally everything. Other than that, you're gonna have to collaborate with other people who have other.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you contrast that
Mm.
with the person who took like Lady Killer and all the other things that let you do extra damage. And you're just
Yeah.
like, that guy gets all that extra damage much sooner without having to craft anything and without having to spend 17
Yeah.
levels to be able to craft
Like,
everything.
Yeah, and then you
like
just
think about the
find
idea of
the
like
loot.
Tom took fucking gunslinger and shotgun surgeon and concentrated fire, and now he uses a double barrel shotgun to just fucking kneecap every single super mutant in one shot.
Yeah.
Like,
And you
Yeah.
raise a good point. Like you could just find a cool shotgun somewhere. You don't even need to craft it
yeah,
with the way the tables are set up.
exactly.
So it's,
Like,
ugh.
this is where I run into those issues where working on your items in a really solid system that's built for it is a fun thing. Like, oh, hey, cool. So can I go find again like a laser sight or like a reflex sight, or I want to look for a bipod because I want to try sniping in this game. But like
Mhm.
with this, it's based so heavily on your equipment ranking up, where like you could just go buy half this shit and not have to
Yeah.
craft. And if
Yeah.
one person is
Exactly.
a crafting guy, then I'm pretty sure he's going to be pissed off when combat starts
Yeah. Also,
Yeah.
he's going to be
or
pissed
when
off
you're
when the.
scavenging or doing anything. And if you're built
Yeah.
16 levels into crafting, why are you even adventuring? Just sit in Megaton and make fucking guns.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's
Uh,
that's yeah. That ends
you're
up
an
being
NPC now.
yeah. I
mhm.
think I just sort of thought of the best way. Just allow everyone combat perks and non-combat perks, and
Mhm.
divide this out. So you can be, for example, everyone can fight kinda because but it's a role playing game. Eventually, we're gonna have to have a fight,
Yeah. And
and
it's
then
post-apocalyptic.
one guy is gonna be the crafter, another guy can be the survivalist, another guy can be the doctor, and so on. And then
Yeah.
you have a job, and you can fight, and no one feels completely gimped by the build. They don't get to do what they want.
Hey, here's a suggestion. Completely take the crafting perks out and do it like New Vegas, where if you have a level in repair or survival, you can just craft something.
Yeah, that's what I said
Yeah.
originally. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would be just that's a better idea. That's just smarter.
Mhm.
Oh, I have 6 in my repair skill. That means I can make, these guns. And oh wait,
Mhm.
because it would be very easy just to go, okay, so to make like this receiver, this hardened receiver for your shotgun, you need a 4 in guns and a
Mhm.
4 in repair.
Yeah.
Done.
Yeah.
I think the
And
problem
Didn't
with
well,
even
the,
that,
remove all of those perks.
the problem in quotation marks with that is that you could potentially just have that to start,
Yeah. Yeah.
and then you can do all the crafting basically by level 3 or whenever you have the last few points you need.
And that's the most that's the weird thing about
mhm.
working with this system, where it's just like, yeah, I mean,
The-
the way they have it set up is, I guess, fine, but I don't like it.
Yeah.
there's one more wrinkle to it too. You also have to have the recipe, whatever you're trying to make, and they're
Yeah.
divided into common, uncommon, and rare. So if you max out your blacksmithing and you want to make the super upgrade for your super sledge, you can't. You need the recipe,
You
and if the
need to
DM
find
ain't
it.
gonna
Yep.
let it drop, it's not there.
Yeah, you're screwed.
Yeah,
Yeah.
which
That's a
nothing else works that way.
guess what? I would rather have an NPC that can craft shit, and you go find him, and he's a melee weapons expert. And he builds you
Yeah.
cool
Mhm.
melee weapons.
Yeah. And here's my hot
Yeah.
take on this whole thing in Fallout 4. It sucked there too.
Yep.
Because
Yeah.
if you take crafting in Fallout 4 to make all your guns, then you're just always gonna be like at a certain level when you have all the perks, you're just gonna be at your maximum equipment. And
Yeah, your
then
equipment's always going to be topped out.
then
Oh.
nothing you loot is gonna be cool. Nothing.
Yeah.
The only chance you have is to
Mhm.
loot the exact gun you already have with a better
Mhm.
epic mod, which you sometimes get from a special drop.
Yeah.
And that's just not fun. The looting just is over at that point, and that's sad.
Yeah. So you can
It's really
either build a
sad.
game around scavenging or build a game around crafting, but you can't do both. And that's where, like, I keep bringing up the crafting system in New Vegas, but that's because I thought it was good, because like
It
you
is
don't
good.
really
It
craft
is good.
weapon mods, you buy them. And even with mods that
Mhm.
you craft them,
Yeah.
it's perfectly fine to understand, like, oh, I built this scope out of like glass and spare parts, and I scrapped that together and bolted it onto my 9 mil. That's fine by me. But like, it's not an incremental upgrade. It's something where it's either you have it or you don't. and it's per gun, and that was nice.
I've
And
also
like, yeah, you
found
could craft ammunition or repair kits, but like you're not screwing over the feeling of finding something really cool just because
yeah,
you put points into a crafting skill.
indeed.
Mhm.
Also, by the way, if you are a ghoul, don't take Aqua Boy.
Yeah.
Because at rank 1, you no longer take radiation damage from swimming in irradiated water, so the thing that would heal you no longer heals you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ah,
That's one of the most useless perks in here because I was looking for one. I was like, this
Yeah.
is terrible.
So many. Yeah, again, so many of these are so situational too.
Better criticals is fucking like crazy broke. When you inflict
Yeah.
1 or more points of damage to an enemy, you spend a luck point to automatically inflict a critical hit.
Yeah, better critical has always been
Mhm.
broken, but you can just take it to level 1 if you're Tim the lucky guy,
Mhm.
and then yeah,
Oh, yeah. The requirement of luck 9.
I mean
Yeah.
clearly very much the same level of good perk as Aqua Boy,
Oh yeah.
where I can
No,
swim
it's
good.
not like you should take bloody mess.
Yeah,
Mhm.
That's absolutely crazy. Where you just you just cause a cascade of critical hits to a guy,
yeah.
Mhm.
make him
It's
bleed out and dazed and drop his gun
yeah.
all at the same time.
The high luck build is really good in this one. I
Yeah,
feel.
luck is crazy.
And
It's
you start with
pretty
can
insane.
do,
Yeah.
and then you take cap collector. Oh no, cap collector is charisma. I bet you start with
Mhm.
can do for to never run out of food, and then you just kill people with bloody mess and better criticals.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It's rough. This stuff is kind of rough. Now, I think it's fine. I think it's fine.
it's playable. Let's just say because you don't have to
Yeah.
take the bad perks, but there's just a lot of page space for bad perks in here.
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
That's I mean, yeah, you can't make them all the same, and not every player is going to value the same stuff. But
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
won't, outside of, okay, we're playing actual fucking pirates in Fallout, no one's gonna take Aqua Boy, Aqua Girl ever. Especially not with 2 ranks in it.
Yeah. Fact that it has 2 ranks, and the second rank is you can't be seen as much underwater. What?
Yeah.
And then there's a couple of them that are double-edged swords, like Hacker. The difficulty of skill tests to hack computers is increased by 1 to a minimum of 0. Well, cool. You're costing the whole party action points.
Yep.
Great. Good
But
job.
that,
GG.
yeah, that's terrible. Like, okay, I'm really good at hacking supercomputers. Oh shit, costing
Right,
us.
that's actually a bad thing. I mean, okay,
That's bad.
I guess if you always hack really hard stuff, then it's a good thing again. But yeah,
hmm If it gave you another D20 to hack,
Yeah.
cool. That would be
Wait,
awesome.
I
But
think I missed this one. I think I scrolled right past it. What the fuck? Hold on. Yeah.
I bet
67.
the locksmith thing is the same, right? There must be one for locksmithing, for
Let's see here.
opening locks. Where is it?
Where is it? Infiltrator. Now, Infiltrator is better because you can reroll a D20 when you're attempting to lockpick something.
Mm-hmm.
Which, again, okay, that actually still helps the group.
Yeah, that's even that can generate you more action points. Hacker is just Hacker's just bad.
Mm-hmm.
It's weird.
No, hold on. Wait a minute. Hacker is fine, but what that means is that every single so it's decreased by 1 the difficulty of skill test. So that
Yeah.
means every single skill test 1 terminal is not locked for you. You just walk up to it and
Yeah.
you instantly get to use
It does.
doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that
But,
means if Drake, you explain. I think we want to say the
okay.
same thing.
But it means therefore that the things that the party would normally rely upon, where the situation where we're going to get into a close combat and shoot people easily, you can't do that then with computers like you normally would if you decided to make a hacker character.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That just
Which
I mean it's not that you're costing people action points, it's just that you're gaining more information
Mhm.
without generating anything for the party. So yeah, it
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
kind of selfish, but it's
Mhm.
streamlining. That's all it is.
Yeah.
This perk
Yeah.
That's all it
streamlines
is.
some of the game.
It would be
Mhm.
fine if all of them worked like this. If Infiltrator also was
Yeah.
like the lockpicking
Mhm.
is one easier. But
Yeah.
it's the difference here.
Yeah,
I would
but
rather
Infiltrator is just better.
yeah, I would rather
I wanna
It's just
reroll
better.
it.
Yeah.
1 die on my
Mhm.
hacking test if it's a simple thing anyway, than
Mhm.
than
Mhm.
to lower that. Yeah, that's, I don't know. And
Yeah.
these are kind of arbitrary as well. They feel arbitrary to me.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I would
Yeah,
much
and
rather
it.
focus on combat perks like rifleman and stuff. That's just
Yeah.
Mhm.
sounds much better. To focus on like a combat style and then maybe have a secondary kind of focus on like a what I would call like
Mhm.
wild card perks like barbarian. I would rather focus on stuff that's more, strange.
Yeah.
Well, I'm disappointed that they left out the perk living anatomy. I really like that one in Fallout 2.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, true.
That was the benefit of being a doctor. Oh, I do more damage to everything that's alive.
Yup.
Yeah. Also,
God, that's good.
that was one of the best
Uh,
parts of New Vegas in general. Just, oh, you're a doctor?
yes.
Awesome. That comes up as much as speech in that game if you're
Yeah.
good at medicine.
Yes.
Your gun skill comes up all the fucking time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But
God, New Vegas is so good. It benefits you from
Mm-hmm.
literally being any single build,
yeah,
like whether you're
Yeah.
charm or barter or speech or
yeah,
or
you can,
or fucking big or guns or laser weapons even.
yeah. You can
Ah,
barter with the final boss with Lanius to tell him that the
yeah,
logistics don't work out. It's so good.
yeah. Oh my
Mm-hmm.
god, the game is
I
so
love
good.
it. Absolutely love it.
Okay, so after all this, we get into like the survival mechanics, which is they are fine. I think they are okay. It reminds me a lot of playing Avalon Hill bookcase games. Like, yeah, starving and fatigue and all sorts of stuff. It's all just D&D exhaustion.
Yeah.
Did you not eat or drink? Okay, then you get exhaustion.
Did I?
Good job.
Did I not? Where's this? Can you give me a page? Because I think I.
191.
Okay.
And then it's
after
you
equipment.
gotta
Okay.
sleep and there's exposure and
Right, we did
and
equipment.
disease. I will say
Disease.
I actually kind of like disease. I like how they do it. It's kind of fun.
Let's see here. How do they do it? Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're random diseases. I like having bone worms. I don't know why, but the disease bone worms really.
I take back what I said earlier because, like, the fact that they have it all really laid out, of course, it's going to get used.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is definitely something that I would see being used very frequently. Weeping sores is the grossest thing I've ever seen. I
The
hate that.
whoopsies is a disease.
Yeah, yeah, you're just unlucky.
Yeah.
Jelly fingers.
Oh, I thought
I
they said
learned
rod worms, not rad worms. Oops.
Oh well. I mean, that. I will say, being a ghoul with
Okay.
glowing pustules, that's a benefit. Be a
Mhm.
melee built ghoul with the glowing pustules
Mhm.
Yeah.
disease, and then just run into people and start punching them and take
Yeah.
damage
I
and
think.
burst
Yeah.
radiation on them.
Yeah. These all seem. Here's the thing. We're playing survival stuff. These all don't seem very bad. It's just needle spine
They
minus
seem
10
more
carry
goofy.
rate. They seem goofy, yeah.
Yeah.
For
Yeah,
the most part.
they seem more just like a minor setback than anything that's like really genuinely serious.
Yeah.
Mhm.
These are Skyrim diseases. They
Yeah,
have
straight up.
lockjaw and
Oh
whatever.
yeah. Very Skyrim.
Enjoy
Very
your
Skyrim.
10% debuff to I've forgotten what.
Yeah, and that's just you look at it and you go, oh, I guess I'll get that fixed next time I'm in town.
Yeah.
It's not really like
Let's talk to
a
the
monumental like
priest.
ender.
Scavenging
Yeah, but then we get past that, and once you start suffering a disease, you can attempt an endurance plus survival test with difficulty equal to the disease's duration rating, which most of them are 1. So many of these you just get over, but then like sludge long, like it's a fucking that's a
4,
difficulty
yeah.
test 4. Good God.
I like how one of the ways to get a disease is you slept rough on the ground rather than in a bed.
Yeah. Yeah. I love it. You ate raw meat, fuck you. Now get sludge lung, you fool. Die.
Yeah.
Taking antibiotics reduces the duration by 1. That's cool.
That
There you
doesn't
go.
make
I like
sense
that.
for all of these, but okay.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
doesn't make much sense, but it's a video game. It's fine.
Yeah. Just taking
That's
appropriate
gotta cure my
medicine.
whoopsies.
You should have just said taking appropriate medicine. Yeah, the whoopsies are something you shouldn't be able to cure. That should be a disadvantage. I don't know.
That should be a trait.
Yeah.
That
This
should be a
darn
trade.
dog keeps following me around. Now I have the whoopsies.
I love that. But then there's
Mm.
scavenging, which is, I think, a huge part of the non-combat sections.
Hmm.
GM details the location, blah blah blah. They can go into more detail and plan out specific locations, which I would not do. If I was doing this, I would sit with a big fucking map of my wasteland, and then when my players tell me we're running low on supplies, we need to start scavenging, that's when I'm going to start randomly creating buildings that are
Hmm.
nearby.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think at any point they should be making landmarks because guys, like let's be real, if you are making this, your wastelands are going to be sprawling compared to the games. Like
Oh
the
yeah.
games are like dense, and this stuff is going to be like 5, 6, 10 times the size, and you are going to be trekking across like miles of wasteland. So
Hmm.
you are not going to have that same like very tight, detailed uh, area unless you specifically design for that. And then in that, you're not going to get any random scavenging locations. You're not going to get a random suburban like neighborhood that's bombed out.
Yeah. True. It's
But I
Yeah.
like how this works. It's
yeah.
fine.
They do the 2D20s right, and the good stuff is at the
Mhm.
low and high end, and in the middle. So most likely to roll is radar armor and sturdy radar armor and whatnot.
Yep.
Yeah, it works.
Yep.
Tarberries. Dandy boy apples are the worst thing you can find apparently. Canned dog food. Oh, by the way, that's something I never liked. I know
What's
the
that?
law in Fallout is like, yeah, we irradiated the food, so it's fine 200 years later. But it
Mhm.
wouldn't be.
No,
You,
that's not how it works.
yeah.
Yeah.
It would most of it would be mush, especially like the sugar. It would be just
Yeah.
completely fucking. Oh my god, what
Mhm.
is this map you've posted?
That's
Oh
from
yeah,
the game called
there we
Dead
go.
State.
Oh my god,
That's an example of, whoa, this is super dense.
Yeah, that is
that
super
is
dense.
dense as fuck. I hate that.
Yeah.
Uh,
That's like the extreme example because most of those locations on there, okay, I can get there within 8 hours without a car, which is like, what? It was kind of a shocking playing that game.
this is a weird thing. So they included
I like
another ammunition
Mr.
table
Bison.
Yes. That's
Stupid.
on
the
page
food chain.
200.
Sorry, what
They put
page?
in a whole at page 200 for the
Mhm.
scavenging new loot tables. They have another ammunition table that
Yeah,
supersedes the other one.
yeah.
Mhm.
I do. This is actually something I really like. They put like the Gauss rifle shots and the mini nukes on opposite ends,
Mm-hmm.
so they're really difficult to get
Oh yeah.
You're
because
unlikely
you're
to
only
find
going to
these,
like
and
snake eyes or absolute max.
yeah, you're just mostly gonna get 10 millimeter or 38s and stuff. Yeah,
Yep,
Mhm.
reasonable.
yeah.
308. It's not hard for
But
your 308 pipe gun that somehow was
bunch of
scavenged for.
flares. Yeah. Have for
Mhm.
your mini nuke pipe gun. I mean, the fusion. Why not
But
a fusion core pipe gun?
yeah, I mean, yeah. Well, that's what run. That's the new super laser musket. You just slot a fusion core in the back of it. Make more fucking sense if you cranked it. But yeah, the armor is
Hmm.
fine. It's perfectly fine. I think it's strange that they included the like heavy stats where they start getting like bigger and bulkier, which I think that should just more be like something that you craft. Like you find the lighter stuff and you work up
Mhm.
to it. But clothing is fine. These are fine charts. These aren't the
Yeah.
worst I've ever seen.
I disagree with that drinks beverages charts where you just find purified water for no reason.
Yeah.
We find ramen milk. What? How the fuck do we find? It's not in the cow still. It must be
No,
in a
you
bucket.
find it in like a bottle.
Yeah,
They bottled it.
sure.
They've used an old world like washed out milk bottle, and they've capped it with a cork,
Yeah, and
uncork it like Zelda, and take a swig.
some of this just doesn't make sense to me, and it shouldn't be
Mm-hmm.
as direct.
Mm-hmm.
That's my main complaint with this game, as I've already
I,
said.
I do
Yeah.
like that the most common clothing that you'll find is at the middle of the table is a harness.
Yep.
Yep.
100%. Well, that's accurate. You find too many of those fucking things.
Oh, a sack coat. You find lots of sack coats too.
Fuck
Amazing.
Yeah, and lots of hides.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. But anyways, yeah, this stuff is fine. It's
Yeah,
perfectly okay.
it's okay to run these. It's kind of it can generate weird results, but it's okay, fine.
That's what I like about random tables, though.
Yeah, that's what I don't
I
like
like the
about
idea that
them.
you can find really weird shit. I like finding weird shit because it's so strange. It
Yeah,
makes it very
for me
unique.
it does break down if it's like, yeah, you find Brahmin milk again. What?
Yeah, see that's where you gotta play it by your thumb, and just be like,
Mm.
maybe not drop like the 14th Brahmin milk. My party's been drinking nothing but Brahmin milk for 3 weeks.
Yes. But you know what I mean. You
Mhm.
yes, you don't use the if you use these, make sure to sometimes fudge the roll a little bit and make it
Yep.
rum they find or purified water. Not if it's if it just makes more sense to you. If they're in a noodle shop, in a pre-warmed noodle shop, don't make them find a melon.
Yeah, that would be weird. Be weird. But yeah, this stuff is fine. Like I'm
Yeah, it
looking this
works.
over and it's going like, all right, cool. Yeah. Repairs seem fine. I like the idea of weapons breaking down. I think that's cool. It's super fun.
Mhm.
Uh, I like that deterioration being part of the game.
Yeah,
Making shit
that is
is
sure.
okay. This is crazy. Literally everyone can make ballistic weave. Mark like the first mark ballistic weave with no armor. Yeah,
True, you're right.
difficulty 3 roll. Every single person can ballistic weave their stuff, which is good if you want to have a lab coat and be a follower of the apocalypse or something. So you don't instantly fucking die when you get shot with your lab
Yeah.
coat,
Okay. I mean,
and
you
you're no armor that you can wear.
as we've said, you can craft everything eventually. You just have to have the perk.
Mhm.
And yeah, some of these are. Oh, you need a robotics expert as well. Some. Oh God. Yeah, yeah.
Oh
You just
fuck
need
that. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay.
many perks, and then you can eventually craft stuff.
All right. So we've basically then after that hit all of the setting detail, which
Mm-hmm.
is almost exclusively Fallout 4 and New Vegas and 76 with some nods to 3 in New Vegas, and that's it.
Yeah.
Uh,
Mhm.
this is again, like we've said, 25% less would do it well.
Yeah.
Literally, even if they would just describe a new wasteland, I would be happy. Even if they were like, oh, the fucking Michigan wasteland, or like, the Pacific Northwest or something. I'm Mr.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest, so of
The
course I do. The Canadian wasteland.
yeah. The
Oh
setting
yeah,
the
I'd
setting
enjoy that.
as it now exists is way too married to these having these same corporations do everything. It shouldn't
Yeah,
be. It's 200 fucking years in the future. Vault-Tec is the only thing people should still really know. The
well,
thing,
Poseidon Energy is around for some stuff, and I think that's all right. But like, the
Mhm.
only reason they put in the Dunwich borers is specifically for that joke.
yeah,
Specifically for the fucking Dunwich joke and the General Atomics. Yeah, whatever, that's fine. What the fuck is MedTech? MedTech is the company that makes Mentats. I didn't need to know that. I don't think
Yeah.
any single person in the wasteland would know that. I don't think anybody would care.
yeah. It's like it's like 200 years in the future.
Yeah,
They wouldn't care to know. Yeah, who
it would
gives
just
a
be
Mhm.
fuck that MedTech used to make mentats? Now I
Yeah.
guess some guy in a basement makes them.
It just feels like they're coming at it from the angle of, okay, all of these technically still kind of exist, all of them. So they all
Yeah,
kind of have something going on that you can get involved in. I'm like, but that's not
yeah.
actually what's going on here.
But the way that they do it is like they include these quest seeds, but they're not actually like, oh hey, maybe this. It's like they're including rumors. I wish they had called them rumors. They should have.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
Because
I
just the
should have.
idea of like, oh, here are rumors that are going about this Nuka-Cola bottling plant or whatever. It's been staffed by
Mhm.
ghouls.
yeah. Yes, by the
Mhm.
way,
And
more Fallout 4 art for you, which ugh.
Yeah.
I actually really like this art.
The
God, I
art
wish
is
they had used the fucking. I wish they had used the synth striders in 4. That was like the coolest design they had for the Institute. They didn't use it.
the art is good, but the
Mhm.
it reminds me of the game and I hate it.
Yeah, because that's
Mhm.
the art for them stealing the baby. That's
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
concept art.
The
And it should have been
fucking
these guys. It shouldn't have been fucking
sorry,
Kellogg and some
sorry,
random loser.
please don't say baby, please say MacGuffin.
The MacGuffin.
Still
Yeah,
the
because
MacGuffin, yes.
that's the name of that baby is MacGuffin.
Oh, I do like MacGuffin. He's my favorite. Good old Mac.
Yes.
I don't hate him at all.
Mhm.
But yeah,
MacGuffin
they
MacGuffin Jr.
they talk about vaults and plots and all sorts of stuff, but they don't really tell you, like, they don't give you a vault generator table, which I think is the
They-
strangest thing.
They really
Yep.
should have. They only
Yeah.
mentioned 5 here, and they could have done a lot more with this.
They could
Yeah.
have literally just said vaults have a number like going up to like I guess like 150 or 200 or something like that,
Mhm.
and there you go.
Yeah,
Go
there's
for it.
And
so many vaults
like
now
the
you can
official
play up.
wiki has a list of all of them, and then just one sentence descriptions. They could have
Yeah.
done that on just one page, and then said,
Or-
"You're free to expand this further."
Yeah, exactly.
Straight up, just give us a table of like what was the thing, what was the
Yeah.
reason that this vault was built, and then just roll,
Yeah.
roll, roll, and
Here's
you're
the-
fine.
Yep.
That would
here's
make
the
sense
list-
with this.
List of official
It'd be
vaults.
fun.
You can just Google that shit. And
Yep.
we're
Yeah.
going from
Google.
3, 8, 11, 12, 13, 15, 17, 19. And then you have this little
Yeah.
bit of a text about what the fuck happened there.
And
Yeah.
then we have a
Really
massive,
simple.
massive section on just the Commonwealth.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's favorite wasteland, right?
Oh yeah, totally.
Yeah. Totally my favorite wasteland.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because who doesn't want to be in that area
Yeah.
in the apocalypse? Oh, and I found out, yes, Fallout Tactics starts around Chicago and ends in the Cheyenne Mountains.
Okay.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, man. That's basically the end of the game. After that, we get to all of the game mastering stuff, which I think is actually pretty okay. I think it is pretty fine. I like hard and soft nose. I like that they have a section on safety and consent, which I think every RPG should have in this day
Yes,
and
it
age.
should. I mean,
Yeah, it
it's
should.
interesting that they have that section, but then they have Lady Killer. But well, it's okay. Fine.
Yeah, that I feel like that's one of
Yeah.
those things that like somebody probably said, should we really have this? And then somebody said, well, it's in all the games, so we should put it in.
Yeah.
That's such a justification for all things Fallout too. Whoa, it's in the other games.
It's in the other one, yeah.
It is sadly that that's exactly what happened. You can see it in the boardroom.
Mhm.
I like how they
100%.
push that, like, hey, your choices should have ramifications and consequences.
Mhm.
I like how they push the dark humor of Fallout. I
Yeah.
think that,
Mhm.
that like 4 and 76 were too goofy. I think they
Yeah.
had too much like they were
Yes.
too light.
Indeed.
There was not
Mhm.
enough like harshness to that wasteland. There was never like something really depressing
Yeah.
in that game.
I'm a 1 and 2 purist. Even New Vegas.
Mhm.
New Vegas is a really good game,
Mhm.
but the setting is the setting is also good, but it's not
I-
really Fallout to me.
Okay,
Yeah.
so here's my explanation, and here's where I think of it. Here's how I think about it. I think about the Mojave being so incredibly fucking hot, and everybody suffering from like heat exhaustion and heat-based insanity. So it's
Possibly.
like everybody is going Mad Max crazy out in the Mojave, and I'm like, I think that idea is great because then the NCR shows up and they're like, we're regular military guys, and then you're running around as a fucking like cowboy robot, and there's an absolutely insane mailman shooting people like quick drawing them, and they're like, the fuck is good? This is cartoon nonsense. What is happening out here?
Yeah.
Everybody's nuts.
Mhm.
Yeah, also they only sent
Yes.
the rejects over there, which is in the story. It is like that because the good
That's like-
guys
And
are
I like
somewhere
that.
else.
I think that's fun.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
good
why-
explanation.
Again, the story work, but 1 and 2 just they are less up
good,
their own
they're the
ass,
best.
up their own
Mhm.
ass about what happened before the war. They use that as a backdrop, and it does ultimately matter each time what
Oh
was
my
before.
god, that's my favorite part about 1 and 2 is that they go like, what happened? Then doesn't matter. This is what we're doing with now. Fallout 2 straight up says that the first game didn't fucking matter.
Yeah.
And that's awesome.
love
And
that. I
Bethesda's
love
just
that.
all referential all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yes.
The
only
only
thing-
stuff I like about the references in New Vegas is that they go like realistically, like how would the NCR function after its inception
exactly.
and growth?
Mhm.
Yeah, they are an
That's the
empire.
only way
The-
that works.
Yeah,
Oh
they-
yeah, they would have to be. Yeah, that's part of the reason why, like Fallout Tactics. Oh yeah, it has a great story. No, it doesn't. But the fact that the Brotherhood would show up somewhere and then be like, "Well, we kind of got to dominate the area around us, otherwise we're not gonna survive." I liked that logical
yeah,
extrapolation.
exactly.
The best
Exactly.
part of that line of logic is that follows into New Vegas, where that's what they were
Mhm.
doing, and then they got their ass kicked by a way bigger military. And
Exactly.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah. It's almost like a
I
few
like
guys
that.
with power armor are no match for many guys with guns. Yeah.
Mhm. Exactly.
oh my god! But no, they're the heroes of the story. They're the
Yeah.
goodies, and everyone else is the
Yeah.
baddies because we're Bethesda and we have no idea how to write nuanced or interesting stories.
Yeah,
Ruin
we
all
have
those
to-
fucking
we
games
want
with their
the- we want the
terrible.
Cool power
terrible
armor
fucking
guys to
humor.
be The cool power armor guys have to be the good guys, even if it makes no
Who's the
sense.
fucking god of madness in the Skyrim game? Who is that guy? I forget his name.
I
That
don't
to
remember.
me is Bethesda's humor, where it's completely just nonsense
with an
and
S.
goofy.
Mm-hmm.
It's like you walk into a room and you see a dead Deathclaw with a fucking party hat on each of its horns, and it's like, oh, there you go. That's Bethesda
Shiogorath.
humor. Shiogora, thank you. Hate
Yeah.
that guy. It's
Guru to
terrible.
the rescue.
So fucking he's so lame.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And-
then I like how they have quest design, and it's very simple. It is the simple shit of kill, fetch, speak, do a task.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
I like all the
I do
monsters
like
you
that.
have in here, even if there's synth and stuff as part of it. But there's you have a bunch of stats for a bunch of enemies you could put in.
Yeah, I like the Denizens of the Wasteland. It's really nice. I think it's really neat.
Yeah.
It's solid. I like how they have a keyword system. This is something that I pushed, and I think that it's ridiculous that D&D hasn't included. Just the idea that you have a bunch of templates and you just add different verbiage to them to change how they work.
I love keyword systems, honestly, because it makes all aspects of game design much more streamlined, much more effective. You can look at a weapon and be like, okay, I know what this does immediately because you look at its keywords.
Yep. And I think that the idea that we have not moved to that system right now for like the biggest RPG around, it's ridiculous. Especially with the amount of digital tools that you have available now. I should be able to key in a card and just go and like get a note card sized printout that has everything based on like 4 or 5 boxes I checked.
Oh
yeah.
I want my prediction about that.
What's
so
that?
D&D 6 is gonna suck. They're gonna go crawl up their own ass way too much, and it's gonna be bad. And then they're gonna release D&D 7 a few years later, and it's gonna be amazing. And it's gonna be have a keyword system. But
I feel like, oh my god, 6.
Well, 4 was already toying around with a keyword system, and then they just nobody liked that, so never mind.
Yeah, nobody liked 4. Let's not learn any lessons of the good parts. Yeah.
Yeah, let's not learn anything.
Yeah. God dang. But yeah, I like how they do it. Their XP table for NPCs is fucking weird. Because it's not done on multiples of 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just random
creatures
numbers.
are cool. I think it's weird that they don't have like special attributes. They have like replacement attributes.
Yeah, body and mind.
Yeah, it's like it's simplified.
Some of them have
whatever.
Some of them have special, some of them don't though.
Yeah, but like
the
the idea is that it's mostly just like the animals. They don't really have special. So like humanoid enemies have special attributes, and then everybody else doesn't. Which I think, what, now that I say that, now that I work through it mentally, I think that works. I think that's much easier.
Yeah. I honestly prefer that when it comes to systems these days, because I'm just like, I don't know, monsters don't need to be complicated.
Yeah, let's be real. If one of the big pluses about this system is, I can look at the radar and think, okay, you might have a special of, might have only strength. This guy might only have strength 5 or something. I'm probably never going to look at the stat block. I'm just going to make up a guy and say, S 8 plus 8, and it's 5 attribute 3 skill. Great, I'm done. That's my guy. For this fight, that's sufficient. You don't need most of this stuff. It's good that it's here.
Yeah.
But you don't really need it.
I enjoy this stuff. It's neat. I like how they work it.
It's good to have because it's good to know. Okay, this is this radar is low level, level 2. This is roughly what the level 2 enemy should be in this game. So if I give him way more stats, then it would be not a level 2 guy. It would be way more dangerous. And then I conversely look at level 10 and know what that should be. And yeah, there we go. I can make up stats now for other stuff.
I was scrolling through the super mutants and I was just mathing it out in my head of like the average damage that you're usually going to be doing. Your average super mutant with like 12 HP is going to be lasting for maybe 2 rounds.
Yeah,
maybe 2 rounds, and that's not bad.
Maybe 3.
Super mutant behemoth, even with like concentrated fire from a whole party, that guy's probably going to be sticking around for quite a while.
I mean, a behemoth.
Yeah, and look at his damage reduction too. It's super high.
Yeah, you have to really focus to get through that guy. Shit, he's gonna beat your ass.
I love that. Where's the behemoth? There.
Behemoth is on page. Oh, you got it.
I
Got
like
it.
that he's only 130 XP. That feels weird to me.
Yeah. He doesn't care.
Oh, hi,
He's gonna
Donster.
crush you, and he's
Welcome.
gonna give you nothing.
Yeah, he's gonna.
I like this.
Yeah, he's gonna super crush me. I like that he doesn't have specially just his body and mind because he's basically a monster.
Yeah, he's
That's
just
nice.
a monster.
Yeah,
Mhm.
works for me.
I don't know. I think this is cool. My issue with this is that they're definitely going with the Bethesda super mutant, which is my least favorite type of super mutant. I want to be able
Yeah.
to talk to these guys.
Yeah,
I want to meet Marcus. Like that's what's up.
Yeah.
I love Marcus.
I'm also unsure how you would get the XP for the suicider, since he's gonna try to blow himself up with his mini
You
nuke.
snipe the mini nuke out of his hand.
Yeah, and then he
Yeah.
explodes. I hate it.
Well, I mean, the bit is that you can actually get the sniper feat in this that allows you to target specific stuff if you are sneaking, which I like.
Yeah.
Or like concentrated fire where you can pick your where you're firing at things. So it's like in theory you could take out a suicider, but like what GM is gonna do that? The worst fights in 4 are you're fighting a bunch of super mutants and then you hear that beep and he just sprints up to you like fucking
Yeah.
Brett Favre and he explodes.
It's the dumbest enemy in the game because why would he do? Why would? Yeah, they are
Because he's
super
a dumb orc.
mutants. Yeah, but even a dumb orc wants to live.
Yeah.
That makes no fucking sense.
And where do they
That
fucking
makes
come
sense.
from?
I would believe.
They are all sterile. This book even says so. Where are these millions of mutants still coming from?
Oh my god, can I talk about that really quick? I was complaining about
Yeah.
this to a bunch of people.
Please do.
A couple of days ago when I first found out the system release because I never got again, like I said, I talked to a Modifius PR rep and I was like, hey, can I get a review copy when it comes out? And they said, yeah, okay. And then it came out and I had no idea. And I looked back and I was like, I wonder if that Fallout RPG is out. Oh, it's been out for 5 months.
Amazing.
But yeah, so like I don't like how in Fallout 3 when they made the super mutants, they then went, we want to make one body mesh because when you look at super mutants in 1 and 2, they have defined gender characteristics. They're just sterile.
Yeah, they do.
So like there are big giant buff green lady super mutants. They exist.
They sure exist. They
You
sure
should
do.
definitely have 8-foot tall ladies who are very buff with fucking cheese grater abs. That should be in your game.
Shout out to Sunderdant. Shout out to Sunderdant.
Yes.
Yup. So that's where like you hit that and it's being lazy. That's the only reason. They just didn't want to.
It's total laziness.
It is
just being fucking lazy.
And also they just wanted orcs in their game, and it's a shit description of what super mutants are.
They're just raiders but bigger.
Yeah, Fallout 1, they are the enemy in Fallout 1, and even then, they are not numerous. They are numerous only in their base because they are still at the beginning of their whole thing. And then you stop them. And then even in 2, you meet maybe a handful. And then you have New Vegas, where
There's not a lot of them.
New Vegas, you have maybe 6. All of them.
You have most towns.
You have one
you have
town.
2 towns. You have Black Mountain, and then you have Jacobstown, and that's it.
Yeah, and
and then you may find them roaming around, but it's not very common.
Right.
And Fallout 4, they're fucking everywhere.
In 3 and 4, they are just orcs.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
And you never.
And like, how are they making enough to continually like have these outposts? Like they have to be capturing people and dipping them in FEV. And if that's happening, that is more dangerous than the fucking Institute.
Oh yeah, that is way more dangerous. Yes.
Like what the hell? Oh, they replaced Jim with a robot. Well, the robot still acts like Jim. The problem being if Jim gets stolen, turned into a giant super mutant, and runs back and kills all of us with a mini, that's a bigger problem.
I guess it's better if we have Jim as a robot because then he can't be dipped. Can we have more robots, please?
Yeah, more robots. Everybody should be synths. Which, by the way, then on 372 you get rules for synths, which you then have the 3rd generation synth, which I think you should be able to be as a player character. I think it is ridiculous that you can't have 3rd gen synth as a trait.
I'm not sure where
I like
this
how
is.
it. Yeah, page 372.
Yeah. Oh, 3rd gen here in the green thing. Okay.
Oh,
I thought it would be a stat block.
It's really weird because it's just an NPC stat block, and it's fine. I like the idea that it's like, oh, you just have extra damage resistance and you're immune to poison, and and shit like that. It makes sense. I think if you don't add the +1 to their strength, perception, and intelligence, it's okay.
It's silly
I
to
think
me.
you could totally make a synth as
Yeah,
as
you
an
could.
NPC.
You could. It's silly to me that this book tells you add synth components to the inventory. So once we have shot the guy, we know he was a synth. What the heck?
Yeah, that made no fucking sense. The synth component is part of their like body. That's like you're cutting somebody's kidney out to
Yeah.
prove they're a synth.
Exactly.
How's that
Probably
work?
weird.
I stole your kidney. Oh, you must be a human then.
The
It
idea that
hurts.
like think about that in canon, like with Mayor McDonough. By the way, spoilers for Fallout 4 that nobody gives a fuck about. Imagine you kill him in his office, and then his secretary runs in and screams, and she sees you with a combat knife cutting his chest open and ripping a piece of machinery out of him. I knew it. I knew he was a synth. I'm not crazy.
Yeah.
But they include the Synth Strider, who is way, way, way fucking cooler than the Courser in design and concept. The Strider is radical. I will always fight for that. I think their design is amazing. But yeah, then it is just a really huge bestiary, which by the way, I feel like Modiphius kills it. That's why their books are so fucking huge, because
Yeah.
their core rulebook is a DMG player's handbook bestiary.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
This
yeah.
is
I like the all-in-one design so much.
Yeah.
I don't care if I'm paying $50 for it. Good, because then
Yeah.
I'm not paying 35 3 times.
If this hadn't so much Fallout 4 in it, yeah, I would agree that I would buy this actually, because it does seem like a good game. It seems like
It's a solid game.
It's a good game to even pick up, because you can be. We explained this in 30 minutes how it works, how you play it.
Yeah.
And so you can have a character in an hour. It might not be the best character ever, but so what? He gets shot and you play another one.
Yeah.
And then
The stuff
you just
seems like
play.
it plays fast, and it plays into that kind of like Mad Max kind of idea that you're going to wander around and find like a place, or even if you find like a hub world, there's, you know, I like the idea that you find like a hub city, like you're in, I don't know, fucking Cascadia or something. You're in like the Cascade Mountains, and you're just wandering around finding cool shit. Yeah,
That'd be perfect.
that'd be really nice. I like that idea a lot.
I've scrolled
I'm
down.
gonna say this right now. Having played a lot of Fallout tabletops, I've played at least 2 others. I've played the D20 version, and the GURPS based one. This is the best Fallout RPG.
Yeah, the GURPS based one is garbage. I have never played the D20 one. This is the
the D20 one is a generic D20 system. It's not very fun.
Yeah, that's just
it's not terrific.
Yeah, it includes just a lot of rules for called shots and stuff like that, and that makes no sense. It's like if you get a bonus to called shots.
I was part of a group that ran a Fallout, but using D20 Modern with the D20 Apocalypse expansion book, and that worked out pretty well.
Okay, see, that's not bad.
That was pretty fun. What they did with the D20 Apocalypse book was they took all the vehicles and they said, okay, we're going to give them all gas mileage and fuel you can track, but only if you really want to. We didn't use it, of course, but the fact that they had it as an option, that was nice.
Cool. This book has an index. Perfect book.
Yes, thank God. It's actually a pretty good index, too.
It is. I've scrolled past. It gets +1 point from me just for having an index. It's good.
I just noticed that I don't think they have any vehicles.
They don't.
They did not include any of it. So, like, there's a pilot skill, but they don't tell you. No! You failed, Fallout.
Well,
I like their character sheet, too.
The character sheet is nice. Yeah, the character sheet is cool. I'm not sure. Let me just scroll back to it. I am not sure if it's going to load. Hello, please. Come on, game. There we go. Not sure if this is super readable, if it's once you have photocopied it to black and white or to print it out on grayscale. It's probably fine. I mean, no one's going to print this in color.
It's legible.
Yeah, it works.
It's a perfectly fine thing. I would print it in color just because the colors are so muted.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like this would work out pretty well.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, it looks fine. By the way, it's the digital age. What I'm going to do is I'm going to just make a screenshot of this, and I'm going to put this into Photoshop and click all my numbers in.
Yeah, almost like my what I did with my Aberrant character. Yeah.
Well, that's what I did even for the Green Knight. I scanned it in, and I just put all of my stuff in Photoshop.
Yeah,
it's fine.
It works.
I hate using paper sheets now.
I don't. I like
Welcome to
paper
the
sheets
fucking
still.
future, old man.
Yeah, I still like paper sheets. I guess I'm too old. It's
No, it's just something that I despise erasing things, and I mostly own pens, so like I hate using pencils. I despise them.
and the thing is, most of the time I played role playing games at all, I wouldn't have been able to bring my computer with me. I didn't have a digital phone because I was a late adopter. So
I mean, 100%.
I like
played
having
with
paper. Paper is cool.
I,
But
I played a lot of AD&D and 2E with paper sheets and a lot
Me too.
of stuff like GURPS, and I think it's totally fine. I just again I now that we have the option for digital, I prefer working on that, and that's down to a preference. If you like using paper sheets, GG, that's your biz.
Yeah.
I really wish that there was a. I'm really frustrated that we. I'm gonna go up to pilot. I'm gonna go back to skills. And
Yeah, I already searched for vehicles. There aren't any.
Very sure there aren't any. Yeah.
Yeah,
then
there's
why
none.
include it?
Because they're gonna give you a vehicle book eventually, maybe, and they didn't want to have this.
Probably.
The idea is they would have to give you a new sheet then, because there's no room to add another skill to this.
Yeah.
I mean, technically, this redesigning this would be easy to give it room, but they didn't do that. So
I feel like this is more just like piloting is going to be a narrative thing rather than being like a statted out deal, which I think is fine. It's okay.
Yeah. Also, to just say this, a lot of the time being the pilot in a game is a lot less rewarding than you think.
Yeah, it absolutely sucks.
It always seems cool in any story if you are the cool driver, but a lot of the time the driving is just, oh yeah, let's drive from A to B. Do I roll anything? Nah, it's fine. You're just and then okay. The thing
the only system that I've ever found it good in is yet again the Star Wars FFG, where it's like being a pilot is fucking awesome, and the dogfighting in that is really neat, and then being like the characters with high guns.
I found it fun in Shadowrun also.
Shadowrun has some good rules for it. BattleTech has some good rules for it. And BattleTech, it's the mistake is being the mechanic. That is the real mistake you can make in that game, is not being the mech pilot.
But yeah, I mean, we've now sat around for 2 hours and we've explained basically this entire system. I think that should give you an idea of how easy this would be to pick up, and this is why I like 2D20. We just ran through a book that I think is 4 times the size of almost any of the other shit we've done, and it was easy.
Yeah, it was very easy.
It may have some mechanics that you really like aren't into, but like I think it works.
It has some kinks in it in terms of why is super mutant basically worse than a normal guy, and so on. There's a few things I would change about it if I ever were to run it. But really the only reason I'm very lukewarm on it is how closely everything is tied to games I don't like.
Yeah.
Just again, it bears repeating, because Bethesda
for me,
really,
Fallout 4 was like,
really did shit jobs with Fallout 3 and Fallout 4. And people
the mechanics of Fallout 4 in terms of like the piecemeal armor and the weapon crafting, I thought was like lukewarm. It's fine. I feel like it appeals to like one very specific type of player. And to me, I think you threw the vast majority of players under the bus to cater to that type of player.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Just the fact that you can watch a video where someone clicks all 4 speech options and it's the exact same thing that gets said next, and it's so bad. It's not an RPG. Fallout 3 is still an RPG, but it's just has a terrible story. And Fallout 4 is an character action game with shooting. And scavenging and crafting. That is not an RPG, because at best you play a predetermined character who has to care about the sun that the player knows they won't find.
Yep, and that's about it. Like, there's just nothing good I can really say about the mechanics that they attempted to put into Fallout 4 to, hey, look, it's an RPG. Look. No, it's not. You just can't convince me.
Yeah, it's way forced in 4. Where it's like, you can be... Oh, if you have intelligence 1, it doesn't fucking matter at any point ever. I think there's 1 intelligence check in the entire game. And
Mhm.
The only thing that intelligence or any other attribute really does is, if you have more of it, you can get more perk access.
There,
Yeah.
I think the greatest indictment I can make of 4 is that one of my old roommates was playing it and he got a bug that broke his experience, and so it would never stop going up, and he just infinitely leveled. He just
Okay.
continued, like there's no level cap. He just
Mhm.
kept going, and like he was like, oh okay. He bought every single perk, and then his like health and damage would just scale with his level, and so he was unkillable. His
Nice.
level went like into the fucking thousands. It's ridiculous.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you, Todd Howard.
Yeah,
Thank
thank
you.
you.
Thank you for all the
You've
bugs.
created
Yeah.
the one super vault dweller that was my old roommate.
I'm just
He's the most
trying.
powerful character in
Right.
Fallout. He's become God. My roommate was Todd Howard. That's the twist.
Shit, you lived with Todd Howard. And
Oh shit! He's gonna like T-pose clip through my door right now and kill me. It's just
I'm just imagining somebody like splashing their face with cold water in the morning after they woke up, and then looking in the mirror and going, "I'm Todd Howard,"
it's the
and then
intro to
that's
Fallout
being the
4.
start of a movie.
Todd
Yes.
Howard.
leveling up is page 49. I want to see what you get for leveling up. Experience points. What? Oh, it's this whole thing is leveling up. Okay.
Yeah.
One health point, one skill increased by 1 rank up to a maximum of 6. Single perk. Okay, so it's not. This is all fine, even the 1 hit point, because the system itself is pretty deadly. So yeah, why not?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
deadly,
Perfectly
but
fine. So like choosing your entire level up to be a health point is actually a pretty
Yeah.
big deal.
Alright, each time you gain all of these. You gain 1
Oh,
health
you
point,
gain all of them. Okay.
1 skill point, and 1 perk.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yep.
That works.
And then if you want to increase your attributes, there's a perk for that. So
Yeah.
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 There's again
The
this
classic. What is it? Intense training.
yeah, it's intense training. Yeah,
the
straightforward.
biggest system point, biggest point against the system again is that you kind of should, if you are smart, look at all these perks that we have scrolled around on, decide which you need to have for your build, and then just put your stats exactly to that point, and then know
It
what your
sucks. Like
build take.
you have to predetermine your character, and that's
Yeah.
a huge bummer.
Because
Yeah, it is.
very few of these perks are low requirements, so you kind of have to choose. I think, yeah, 7, 7, 7, 6.
Being the guy who just has like
5,
5 in everything
5.
sucks. Like you're gonna screw yourself.
Yeah, you basically, okay, luck. Metacritic is 9 luck. Strength 8. Yeah, there's nothing below 5, and that's not how the games were. The games did have some starting things with low attributes at least.
Yep. So
5,
it expects
6,
you to have your
6.
attributes set in the beginning and basically not change those except for maybe with like intense training, which
Yeah.
I actually don't mind that they basically expect you to just have the same stat spread from session 1 to session 20.
I don't mind that either. I don't mind that either.
I don't
You
mind
don't
that
have
either.
to have a thing where you increase your stats. I mean, again, you can. You don't have another perk. But yeah, since if you want to be a melee guy, I guess you would have high strength anyway, so that's fine. But then, I didn't know I need endurance 7 for pain train. Shit, I have to. It's just a thing.
Yeah, I didn't even know I was going to specialize in heavy armor or in power armor, and now that I have it, now I kind of want pain train, but like I have to.
Yeah.
Maybe my endurance is a 5. Like.
Yeah,
that takes so much now that I have to put in because intense training. The level requirement. Oh, that's actually level requirement doesn't matter if you're like level 7. You could just take 2 intense trainings right in a row.
Yeah, that's true.
Level requirement would be 2 and 4.
Yeah, that's true. But then again, if you want to just be the melee guy, you could have just strength 9 or 10 and endurance 7, and then or whatever endurance you need for all the perks you want, and then you don't have to do it in your better build because it doesn't really do anything. Sure, you will have to be 2 points dumber or 2 points less charismatic or whatever.
Yeah, that's not really a big deal.
But that's
I like how pain train works if you're a super mutant. I didn't read that on my first read through. That's cool.
Yeah.
You
have to have power or are a super mutant. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, so this is
I like
basically
that a lot.
the super mutant perk.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
I think it's fine.
Yeah.
This system really lends itself well to the leverage approach or the heist team approach, where everybody's got their own specialty. Really lends itself well to that.
And then you
Yeah.
have Lucky Ted, who has 10 luck and nothing else.
Yep.
Lucky
Good
Ted
old
is
Lucky Ted.
Lucky Ted is a good build in this. We've established this.
Yeah.
Let's take better criticals as level 1 because
Yeah.
you can.
And then
I
take
know
Bloody
that
Mess.
I feel like that would be your build if we ever did this. It's just like I'm Lucky Nora and I could just fucking
games I'm lukewarm on. I'm gonna try to break. So that's not a secret anymore. So yes,
Yes.
it would be Lucky Ted or some other thing. I haven't read all. I would read all of these if I were ever to play and find the best perk, and I could take it level 1 and take it and have whatever stats I need.
I am actually going to be running this sometime in the future, pretty soon. So I actually kind of want to like circle back to it eventually and just kind of give my thoughts on it. I'll probably do that on Twitter a little later.
The alternative, if I really don't like it, I don't want to play, is what I would take something that I can do and just insist on finding food everywhere. And that would be my whole character. But I'm kind of too old now to be that contrarian and be that much of an asshole to other people, so I wouldn't do that.
Are you? Are you sure?
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
I have done this exactly once, and it was when we played Rollmaster. A system we will eventually have to not read, but bury in a landfill. And
here is my shitbag build. I take only the feat scrapper, and I take everyone else's guns, and I turn them into scrap parts. So like, I walk up, I walk up to Jim while he's sleeping. I take his laser rifle and use my scrapper perk and tear it apart. It's nothing now.
Nice.
This is gonna be the evolution of the AD&D thief who steals the paladin's fucking longsword and the cleric's holy symbol. Except now I can take it apart so you can never use it again.
I just realized as well for this thing. So I can be at level 1. I can take any of these if I have the stats. There's almost never a level requirement. The only level requirement is if you want to take it more than once. So they really don't want you to start with good equipment.
They don't want you to start with like rifleman or gunslinger either, because they're level 2 and up.
Yeah, sure, but that's the only ones. There's many of them at a level 1. Or they have ranks, but they don't have level requirements. Yeah. So
and then for your scrapper build, you should also just take level of pickpocket also.
Yep. So I can steal everything. Yep.
Building itself, and then Pathfinder, so you can run away faster.
Yes. And scoundrel, so you can ignore complications. Get out of here. We're done.
I didn't take your stuff.
You're breaking it apart, right? I can see my 44 Magnum in your hand right now. No, you can't. And then a bunch of like fucking breaking noises happen, and now you're just holding a bunch of screws and gears.
And then there's like pipes everywhere.
Yeah, I know Lucky Ted's gonna specialize in unarmed besides everything else, apparently.
Why?
Because he's lucky and knew you would take his gun.
Oh, there you go. We kind of skimmed over like the action types, but like the crazy thing is, I would just say the same thing I've been saying like a million times. It's just the same shit as Star Wars, where you fucking aim to cover, move. It's the same shit.
It's always the same shit. You have big actions and small actions, and you take them. The best thing about the combat in this is just guns. We don't worry about reloading here. Just reload the guns.
Yep, it just happens.
Yeah, we don't care. That is a fine rule because so many books
will
be like this. I mean, and the only system I will give that to is Feng Shui. If you are Feng Shui, I say it. If you are a gunslinger in that, you should count your bullets, because that's kind of what you are about if you play that. But that system basically also has a thing that just breaks this, where your gun can have unlimited ammo if you take enough of that perk. That's because you are that type of action hero, and that's cool.
I'm thinking about this right now, and this is going to be a huge poll, and nobody in the audience may get this.
Yeah.
But there was a Ruby fan tabletop, and I know that combination of words is going to make everybody just cringe so hard that you just recede into your shell, but bear with me.
Okay.
That game was garbage. However, the way that they structured turns was very interesting, and it was based on the idea that like characters in Ruby are doing multiple things per action, so breaking it down into you get a single action doesn't work. And I think it was up to like 3. And I think using the AP system as okay, so one of my actions is going to be to aim and then move and shoot and then take cover, and that's my 4 actions because I have 4 AP per turn, and now I've burnt all my AP and I'm recovering over time, like or
Yeah,
something like that. I think that would be
that would be interesting. Like if for example, you get so many AP per turn, but you have a bigger
yeah.
pool, so you can have a big turn, but then you have to have a small turn after. Yeah, that
Yes,
works.
I like that. That thinking about that right now, that sounds
Mm-hmm.
really awesome. That sounds really like super cool. There's actually an ability in this where you could just generate AP as a major action.
Yeah. The only problem with I see
Rally.
with that is it's like, oh yeah, let's hunker down this turn and all take the big turn next turn and then break this fight wide open. But yeah, okay. I mean,
Yeah,
it's always going to be an optimal way to fight a fight. It's fine
of
if
course. It's always there's always
yeah.
going to be a way.
There's always going to be some kind of strategy. Yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing. The thing though, what I like about this game is that it's quite straightforward in this. Yeah, you can shoot the guy, you can do this and that. It's gonna be pretty easy. You get maybe a +1 if you are if something happens in the fight, like they are prone in front of you, you get a small bonus. But it's fast, and I like that. And anything,
It feels like these turns are gonna go like lightning quick, and
yeah.
people are gonna die like crazy.
Anyone who's
And
ever
you're gonna
played
be
Old
lucky
Vampire
and smart.
with celerity characters, where you have to technically be like, okay, we roll initiative, and then the slowest person says what they are doing, then the next slowest person says what they are doing, and so on and so on and so on, until the fastest person has said what they are doing, which all includes interrupting slower people to fuck with them. And then the fastest person actually does something, and at the very end of everything, the slowest guy is basically probably a paste on the floor. But if not, they are going to do something. That's not going to matter because I shot the other guy. Basically means that guy is 2 rooms down. Having taken the MacGuffin and is running. And that is way cool to read about and way cool to imagine, but it's a hell
fucking
to play.
sucks when you're the slow guy.
Yeah. It sucks when you're the slow guy, and it's hellishly slow to play at the table as well. Yeah. Because anything that adds a lot of busy work before you can actually just take an action just makes it so grueling. That I like systems like this where you just say, hey, shoot him. Yeah, it's your skill plus your thing. Oh, you are far away, you have a pistol, then you have to have 2 or 3 successes to hit him. So just roll your thing. And then I'm like, oh, I need an AP. I'm going to take 1 group AP to shoot him a bit better. And I roll and either hit him or not and know really quickly. Then I roll my damage and then I'm done. That's cool.
I really like systems that encourage the player to take cover and be intelligent.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
Me too.
That was something that you run into a lot when you're doing, say, firefights in D&D, where it's not even talking about guns, but just like this guy has a really heavy crossbow. He's going to hit you for a shit ton of damage. Oh, okay. I run at him and I hope I get there. And then you get instantly shot. And well, now he's hit you with this massive damage and you die. And then the player fucking gets pissed at you. It's like you could have taken cover.
Yeah.
You could have gotten behind something. What are you doing? Why'd you stand out in the open and get shot? Oh, I have a big health pool, so I thought it'd be fine. Like low health pool and cover rules helps so much.
Yeah.
And dang, that's nice.
Yeah, it does. And yeah, D&D, I feel like D&D combat at high level mistrains so many people into just run. I just always fight, I always attack, I always just hit stuff, do combo, and then not worry about anything else. High level D&D combat is not very good in my opinion.
It's pulp action. It's just like fucking Gimli and Aragorn jumping into the Uruk-hai.
Yeah.
Like you're just doing crazy shit all the time.
Yeah,
and I think that's fun, but it does train you very poorly to play any other game. Like, I was playing Star Wars with my group, and like I set up a bunker installation, and it's like the way automatic fire works in that game is you can just trigger it and hit guy after guy after guy after guy, so long as you roll enough of the the special token or whatever. And so it's like, oh, I can just blow through all of you, of the entire team, and kill you instantly with this heavy gun emplacement if you don't take cover and work around them.
Yeah.
And that's, I think, great. I think the idea that it's like I just spent 40 minutes making my character and you get blown away by a heavy gun emplacement instantly. Like, yeah,
Yeah.
get smarter.
It's also a thing where
Be smart.
I mean, I completely agree. I completely agree, 100%. It's also a thing where if you look at D&D, your mathematics is always the same. Either okay, I have like 200 hit points. It doesn't fucking matter what happens. I'm just gonna run in and fight.
Yeah.
Or I'm about to die. Then I need heal. But there's a big chunk of your health pool where just nothing matters. And it's maybe like, oh, I'm losing health pretty fast. Maybe that's bad, but well, I don't really know. Maybe I was just unlucky getting hit a lot.
Yeah, I'm just as good at 1 HP that I am at 200, so
Yeah,
it doesn't matter.
but in this game, I mean, yeah, first you can get critically, you can get both your arms blown off, then you're kind of not in the fight anymore. And then also, you don't have a ton of hit points, so you probably getting hit once is going to give you pause and be like, oh shit, I should
You're
get into cover.
critically hit in the torso and fucking bleed out.
Yeah, I might do so. If I'm just okay, let's say I have 12 hit points because I have 6 and 6 and we're level 1.
Yeah,
and then I get shot for, let's just say 5, which seems like a normal amount to be shot for.
Yeah.
And it's not even crit, but I know, okay, I'm barely above half, I have 7 hit points. I might use a luck point to get into cover at that moment, and that's good. Yeah. That's what you should be doing, yeah.
Well, on top of that, getting hit for 5 damage, you're taking that critical.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Let's say
you're just going.
Yeah, let's say I'm get hit for 4 then. So
it's still a lot.
It's still like I'm still like, okay, I can take one more of these, and then I'm basically dying on the floor, and that's bad.
So burn that luck point, get into cover, or do it earlier and be smarter.
And like any system where your health pool is low, but it gives you some tools to stay alive anyway.
I was looking briefly at the Roll20 character sheets that they have. They're pretty darn good.
Okay, nice.
They walk you through step by step.
That's nice. That's really
okay.
Nice.
There's a non-zero chance that someone from this company made them.
Oh yeah, it's definitely 100%.
These days, that's not uncommon and a very smart thing.
Also, if you just look at the size of Modifius and like how many employees they have and the amount of licenses they have, like there's no fucking no doubt that those guys have an online department that is just absolutely massive.
Yeah. So yeah. I would play this as well, as long as we don't play in the Commonwealth.
Yeah, fuck the Commonwealth.
Yeah. And I want different super mutant rules.
Yeah,
and I want play and I want playable intelligent death claws, because that's important.
Oh yeah.
You used to be able to do that.
Yeah. But give me these 3 things and I will play this. Yeah. I'm not gonna be the crafter though. You can forget about that.
Yeah, fuck that.
You can have an NPC
Honestly,
for that.
Playable Deathclaw would be really cool.
Yeah.
There are intelligent Deathclaws.
Yes.
Yeah.
He's a party member. He's the coolest party member.
Yeah.
Ever.
The things Fallout Tactics had them, and I remember being like, "Oh, that's so cool! I have a Deathclaw finally." And then the only thing I could do with them is throw grenades, because at that point in the game, you're only fighting things that can instantly melt your Deathclaw.
Yes.
I was thinking about Gorus.
Yes, of course.
I thought also,
it's fucking awesome.
Obviously, yeah. The tactics thing is just more in my mind because I played through all of Tactics and it's such a slog.
It is. It really is. The whole thing I kind of came away valuing it for was, wow, I can build my own team of whatever the hell.
Yeah, my personal mission in that was I have one of everything. So I had one ghoul, one Deathclaw, one I forgot what else you get. You get different
super mutant. You could also have a robot.
Yeah, and I had one of.
Oh, and a dog.
And obviously, I had a dog as well, and they are not made equal, and you shouldn't do that, because in that game, is really fucking hard. But
yes,
it was fun. my Deathclaw threw grenades all day.
And I liked how dogs could like carry just one item, and that was it.
Yes.
So you could use them for ferrying grenades between your teammates.
Yeah.
So stupid.
But yeah, I feel like in doing this, I'm going to have to sit down if I ever run this and make more robots.
Yeah, make more
Like,
robots, make some.
congratulations,
The thing is,
you've left me with more work.
I mean, as the thing is, since the races in this are basically does have a perk here, congratulations.
Yeah,
Mhm.
It's not going
that's
to be
not hard
very
to.
hard to do right that, yeah.
Yeah.
Even
I
the
still
robots,
don't like it. Yeah,
it,
you're just gonna have to work on it. Yeah, like
the
the way that I wrote it was, I was just like, yeah, we're just gonna use like a different critical hit table. We're just gonna remove the third arm, and there you go, you're a Securitron.
I mean,
Okay.
Securitron, you can even go with the normal human table, I guess. They have 2 arms, 2 legs.
They don't. They have the Securitrons from New Vegas. They have the wheel.
Oh, the wheel guys. Yeah, then you just put
Yeah.
both legs into the wheel. Who cares?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Who
Done.
cares?
Done.
It's all good.
Easy.
Do they have a head? Isn't the whole torso oh, they do have a head.
They have the
Yeah.
optics
Yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff.
right. But yeah.
Yeah. I think it's nice. It's a fine system. I think it's all right. I would definitely run it. It's the best Fallout system, and I like the 2D20
This
system.
is by far the best
I
Fallout
enjoy it.
system, yeah, for
Oh
sure.
yeah. It totally
That's
is.
not
It
saying
totally is.
much, but like it's hard to explain because the other ones are so terrible. But
Oh,
this is make no mistake, leaps and bounds better.
when
This is
you
actually
said
a
I want to read the Fallout system, I was like, oh, the old one, and you were like,
we
no,
should
no,
do
the
the
new
old
one.
one at some
The
point.
old one is, oh my god, it's just basically Fallout 1 and 2. Imagine having to play Fallout 1 at the table, so you have
Yeah.
your attributes and you do a lot of math because all your stats are derived via some formula that doesn't make any.
Percentile, they're
Yeah.
formula-based
And
percentile
then
stats.
your stats go above 100 on a D100 roll system, and none of it makes sense, and it's all super stupid. And then you can be a dog, and then you're going to be completely terrible.
Yeah.
But you can also just be a deathclaw, and then you are pretty good. That's the one
I
good thing it
played
has.
when I played that system at the table. I had a player throw a pencil cup at me, full of pencils.
I never played it. We very briefly tried to play the GURPS, this D100 thing, but it was just not no.
I'm actually excited to work with this, and that was the crazy thing. Like I cracked this book open because I was like, oh, I forgot this existed, and bought it and popped it, and like the presentation's aces. It's fantastic, 10 out of 10 presentation.
Yeah,
Really
Mhm.
great layout.
Yeah, for sure. This
Like
one,
just solid system.
like we said with I have to revise my verdict, by the way. This is now the most we have a licensed book ever that we've done.
Yeah.
It beats out the Dragon Ball book just on merit of how much art there is in here.
Oh
Well,
yeah. Good
to be
art
fair,
too.
this is like all Fallout 4 and 76 concept
Yeah.
art. That's
Yeah,
Mhm.
there's some 3 in here as well, but yeah, most of it's 4.
yeah.
76 is some 76 too, yeah.
Hey,
But
you know
most of
what?
it
There's
is
a
4.
bonus to this, and you guys want to know what it is?
Tell me.
There's no
What?
fucking base building mechanic.
Ooh.
Oh,
There's no
that's
base
the
building.
expansion book.
No,
Yeah,
you
yes.
can't.
The expansion book has cars and base building. That would be
Yeah, and nothing else.
No.
Oh, and it has the vampires from Fallout 3.
Oh yeah, all right.
Yeah, those guys. Those were
But that's how the
very,
sheet
very
looks in
important.
Roll20. So
Good.
it's obviously high production values.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Looks good. That is 100% made by the company.
Yeah,
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure.
There's
Yeah.
no fucking way. Like nobody would have that art.
Lucky Ted. Perfect.
I loved him.
It's a
So
CF11.
how is it fucking 11?
And it's not allowed.
Because of the +1 from Gifted.
Oh, wait,
Oh.
can you do that? I don't think
Well,
you can.
the sheet let me, but if I was the DM, I'd say no, you can't
Yeah,
go above
no.
10.
Yeah, they cap
Lucky
out it.
Ted wouldn't be gifted. Lucky Ted just has 10 luck. I
Well,
think.
no, he's gifted with his luck.
Yeah, but then you only have nine luck, but you don't take it. You would take gifted, but for some other stat.
Well, I mean, theoretically, I think Ted
Well,
is so lucky that he can have 11 luck.
Maybe you can allow it, yeah. We
I
just
would allow.
had,
If somebody came to me and said my character is Lucky Ted, he's the luckiest
yeah,
guy in the wasteland, I would go, yeah, you can have 11 luck. It's just for you.
yeah, okay, yeah, you're right. So choose two plus one. So yeah, if you do this, if you do this with luck, if one of them is luck, then you basically negate your get one free stat point. That's
Yeah,
okay.
it's just
Yeah,
works.
Second
it
mate,
works. The whole point of it is so that you can, oh yeah, I'm going to substitute my stat with my luck at any time, and oh,
yeah,
okay, that's basically a +7 then.
yeah, 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 yeah.
Dang. Yeah. It's not terrible. Like
Yeah.
I'm getting more excited the more that I look at this book.
No, but I think
And
I think
Exact opposite of Dragon Ball, where I was more excited at the end, and I ended it going, "Fuck this game," and I started. This is pretty neat. I'm ending it going, "Holy shit, yeah, I'd love to run a full campaign with this."
yeah.
yeah,
I mean, it's not a game I desperately want to play, but it's mostly because I'm very lukewarm on Fallout now. After
yeah,
Yeah,
after they
yeah.
beat me so many times,
yeah.
and
Like I said, I'm rolling through Fallout 4 again, and I've been trying to be very, very courteous to it, which I don't know why. Like I'm just like I'm playing through it with the mindset of, yeah, they tried a thing and it didn't work, but I should at least kind of be respectful. And then I'll run into a story and I'll be like, oh, this is terribly written and the dialogue sucks, and I fucking hate this character.
yeah, again, my break point for that is just it's not an RPG.
Yeah, it's
And
not.
so
It's
please,
absolutely not.
please don't buy a license for an RPG and then make a different type of game with it.
Yeah.
Just because
That's why
console
I respect
apparently,
people who are doing stuff like Cascadia and Fallout 4 New Vegas, where they're like, yeah, we're going to use this better engine, or not a
yeah,
better engine, but this better implemented engine to actually make an RPG. And the idea of like New Vegas with better like the gun mechanics, that's amazing, great. New Vegas with a
hmm
sprint,
oh
that's
yeah,
good. All right, yeah,
yeah,
ship it.
yeah, sure,
Yes.
agreed. This is, oh yeah, you have. I know now 11 agility for the defense, but I think I would take 9 agility and then 6 charisma for
Yeah,
Lucky
well,
Ted.
Lucky Ted's got to be charismatic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's charismatic and lucky.
Well, I took the Charisma 4 with the supposition in my head of, oh, okay, well, he just gets lucky with everybody.
Yeah,
That's
it's true.
true.
That is kind
Yeah.
of true.
And I had the agility that high because I was like, yeah, it also makes sense that like the lucky guy is actually really good at getting out of trouble.
Yeah, I
So
think
Yeah, so
yeah,
he's defensive too. Just you can't hit him. Fuck you.
yeah. The more
yeah,
I think about it, yeah, the only reason I would say agility 9 is because the 11 doesn't do much. Because if we ever need to hit, we can still just, I don't know. Though if it's 11, then we don't have to substitute a roll on agility for it.
it's
Question: did you guys take a look at the perk Ricochet?
no.
Luck 10, level 5 plus. If an enemy makes a ranged attack against you and rolls a complication, you can spend a luck point to have it ricochet back and hit them.
We never explained that. We never explained complications.
It's a 20.
Yep.
It is if you roll a 20, that is a complication, and it's stuff like you're gun jamming or you're running out of ammo or shit like that.
Or you shooting your
And
dog accidentally?
complication range goes up, by the way. So
Mm-hmm.
when tasks are riskier, the GM can increase the complication range, so you generate more complications. So it's
Yeah.
basically like adding a different layer of difficulty rather than
Right.
instead of you need more successes, it's way easier to critically fail.
I think how it works was also if you have on a 1 difficulty it's on 20, on the 2 difficulty it should be on 19, on a 3 difficulty on 18, on a 4 difficulty on 17 or something like that.
Yeah, sliding scale like that.
Yeah.
When I'm looking at this, it does not look like they're actually related. It looks like they look related. They look very similar, but they don't really have a correlation here.
Also, again, they
because
have a high risk 1 difficulty thing because if it goes
Yes.
wrong, it would be really wrong, but it's not that difficult.
Yeah,
Okay,
exactly.
I
So-
like that. I like that.
Yeah, a
Yeah,
complication range
having
5, difficulty
yeah.
1. That's fine. That makes such an interesting dynamic of difficulty. Now that I'm thinking about that,
It does.
It
That's
yeah.
does. I like that.
like
Yeah.
you're on the ground with a broken leg and you're aiming like a shot from your pistol, and you're like, I gotta hit this suicider in the hand like right now. It's like, okay, complication range 5. If you fuck up, your gun's gonna jam and he's gonna get there and blow you up. Like, all right, go for it.
Yeah, that I do like. That is
That's
nice.
really tense.
I do like that actually a lot. Yeah. because there's so many circumstances where you would have that inverted too, where, okay, well, it's really hard to hack this, but it's not like you're going to set off any alarms. But then the opposite is the case too. I
Man,
like that.
dang. Yeah.
I like that. I like the granularity of that.
Yep.
This seems like it's really easy to GM too. Like it
Mhm.
seems like if you have an idea of how the setting works, you could just do the shit mostly on the fly.
Yeah, you really can. And then, like, if you want to add perks, it's very easy to do.
Just add more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which,
you
of
could
course,
straight
I'd do that right away.
Yep, 100%. I think like I'm thinking again of like if you're wearing light armor, then you're much harder to hit. I think the idea of like increasing your defense by like 1 when you're wearing light armor is great. I think that perk idea is just fantastic. To
Yeah, I like that.
specialize in wearing lesser
Yeah.
stuff.
I wonder
like
if you can break this by being impossible to hit.
I don't know. It doesn't seem like you can get your defense that high. Like
And you
I don't think you
okay.
can get above like 3.
So my agility is 9. I have 2 base. Then I take the light armor thing. What's that called?
That is not a feat that's in the game. That's just one of my favorite feats from New Vegas because I like specializing in light armor.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's
There
where,
is
like,
a
that's something I
defend
really
major
enjoy.
action, but I don't know what it does. I'm looking for it.
Yeah, you dodge. At
Mhm.
rank 1, when you take the defend major action, you reduce the difficulty of all skill tests by 1. What? Oh, difficulty of these skill tests to dodge by 1. Not to defend by 1. Further increase your defense is reduced to 1 AP. Each time you take this perk, the level increments for 6. Okay.
I kind of like that. If you have high agility, then you can spend like a major action to fucking get out of the way.
Yeah, that's good.
They also have mobile in here, don't
Oh,
they?
moving target here.
Yeah, moving target. There
If
we
you
go.
sprint
Yeah.
as an action, so you can't fight, but your defense goes up. That's worse. And then that's fine. That's not worse. So as long as
Both of those could work in tandem.
yeah,
Wait, no, they
I'm
can't.
just
Yeah.
I'm just thinking no, because each is an action, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
The
So
major action, yeah.
I think moving target is better.
Yeah,
But,
because
but the other one has because this doesn't require a roll or anything. But if you get hit, you still get hit, and you can't do anything probably. Yeah. Okay.
I'm looking at major actions. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah.
There.
Interesting.
I think a lot of these major actions could have actually been like.
You know what's fun?
Minors.
Lucky Ted works even better because 11 agility Lucky Ted can have moving target. It's hard to hit, and when you do hit him, but it's a complication because you have to have 3.
He ricochets and kills you.
Yes.
What happened? Lucky Ted.
Very good.
I love this character so much. Lucky Ted is the only creature that can defeat the Great Raider over Boss Milk Baby.
Yeah. And the defeat only comes at the hubris of Milk Baby, not because Lucky Ted actually tried.
It's you who have been milked today, Mr. Baby. Your only mistake was that I was too lucky.
Oh, great.
This character is amazing.
Oh yeah.
Huh. I really like the rally major action. I really like that.
That's one of my favorite parts. I mentioned it way back, but I think it's such a cool idea to like you're because it's not if you look at this where it is either you're gritting yourself or you're being a charismatic leader, and I think that should be the basic thing. I don't think it should be you're gritting your teeth. I think the standard action should be you're inspiring people.
Yeah,
that makes sense for generating AP for the group.
It makes a lot of sense. And then also, like, there are going to be people who do charisma build characters in the wastes all the time, and it's just like I'd take that as my major action constantly. I'd love to be able to buff my allies. I've played bards galore.
Yeah, I like that. Basically, that can be your build. You can just be a rally guy who makes AP every turn. Because it's difficulty 0 checked, so it means they're always gonna any success instantly gonna be AP. That's pretty good. Just shout encouragement at your party, and they're gonna shoot better.
And then take dog meat if you don't have an ally nearby that would be using their AP.
Oh,
you use your AP on your dog.
Because you're a charisma build. Your dog By the way, I like how like your dog or your robot, if you have a companion, they go immediately after you.
That's
Just
cool.
they share your initiative.
I have.
That's better.
Yes.
I remembered one more thing I like about this.
Yeah.
There's a mechanic where you can aid someone in a skill check,
Mhm.
and how that works is, you roll, you roll 1d20 against the thing you are doing. For example, if someone is repairing a thing and you are bringing them raw materials, you would roll a strength check or something, a strength and endurance or whatever, carrying something around check. And if you do that, they get one success on their roll if they succeed themselves. So you only can help them make it better if they also at least get a success. So that is a good one for me, because then the group can be inventive about, okay, I help in this way, I help in that way, and then the guy doing the main check still has to do not terrible, so you can't trivialize his role. That is good. That's a good
It's really
system.
interesting. I like it a lot.
I like that.
I have one downside about the equipment here, and it's a part of Fallout 4. The only part of Fallout 4's equipment that I like. I really like the idea of legendary stuff, and I do not see a way that translates into this at all.
I really dislike the legendaries in Fallout, but only because they are so stupid and random.
No,
Not,
that is perfectly acceptable.
I like the idea of having legendary items. I don't like that I can just shoot a named ghoul and get a random shotgun from them that's legendary.
Yeah.
That's the game generated for me because this is a Radiant quest.
Super lame.
I want to find the special item in the special place where someone placed it, because it was Tuesday and they had to make a level because they are level designer.
Yeah, the whole thing is like uniques are better than the legendaries.
Yeah.
The legendaries are weird.
Yeah.
They just give you a little bonus.
Oh yeah.
And then next problem with Fallout 4 legendaries is uniques. I mean, is you loot them and there's probably a pipe rifle with flaming on it, because
it looks exactly the fucking same.
all the fucking loot is pipe rifles and it's so bad. I hate them.
We all hate pipe rifles because they suck.
Yeah, they look shit and they suck.
We have any final thoughts on this?
Yeah, okay. I already told you what I need. I also need pipe rifles to be not in the game, and then I would actually play this. Yeah.
I'm now in control of the loot table. You get only pipe rifles.
Well, Lucky Ted disagrees. Lucky Ted's gonna luck his way into something else.
Oh boy.
For food.
Because Lucky Ted would be a scavenger, obviously. Because why would it work in the post-apocalypse? You can just find shit.
Instantly finds a fucking Gauss rifle.
Yeah. And no ammo for it, but he's gonna sell it for food, so it's fine.
Yeah, when it's out of ammo.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, we hit the nail on the head with the first fucking thing. Was, man, if it was a little bit more of a Fallout system and less of a Fallout 4 system, this would be fantastic.
Yeah. How I feel about it too.
Sure.
That's in a nutshell.
Holding itself back based on the Bethesda IP.
Yeah, it is the first thing we have read where I would say, yeah, the rules are super solid, and it wouldn't have, but basically not nothing in these rules is bad. Some things are overly simple, some things are maybe missing, like different races, but the rules as written that I'm gonna play with, that's super good.
I am going to say I don't give them a point on this just because, like I mentioned before, this is the same system they use for John Carter and Conan and like 4 other different games. No, they have machined these rules to a mirror finish before they made this game.
Then it's still good rules, and I don't even mind that, because then I can. These rules feel universal to me and feel very easy and playable to me. So as long as I'm not how do I put this? Not as long as they don't bore me, which I mean I've never played them, so they wouldn't. I would play these rules in whatever, and they wouldn't play this again. They wouldn't play this just because of the setting they chose. I would rather play a Conan thing. That sounds cooler.
This is the crazy thing. Like, if somebody approached me and said, I want to run the Fallout tabletop RPG, I would be like, all right, sweet. So where are we in the country? And they said in the Commonwealth or in the DC Wasteland. I'd know that they have no imagination.
Yeah.
Right away.
if anybody ever told me I want to run a Fallout game and they say literally any location that has already been in the games, I'm like, you just want us to meet Mr. House, and I don't care. I'm
Yeah.
not interested. I want to know what you are
Right.
making. I want to know your take on the Fallout
My
universe.
my
So take me
instant
to
my
locations
instant
you
answer
like.
would be Russia or Europe or whatever. There's
I think
something
that
that
would be really
I've
interesting.
never
I
even
would love to see
seen.
what the European branch of Vault Tech would be doing. That sounds
Yeah,
so fucking cool.
That would
yeah.
be really fun, actually. Really fun.
Die Bunkerinnung.
My first
Cotton
instinct is to set it
pickpocket
in
cool.
North Africa, actually.
That would also work. Yeah.
I'm thinking about Cockney pickpocket fucking ghoul child. That's awesome. That's so cool.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
No,
really.
my thing is I've talked about it endlessly, but I like the Cascades region. I think it would be a really cool fertile area to explore, and that's why I'm so excited for Fallout Cascadia. But they're never gonna fucking finish that mod. Uh, but like,
Nah.
yeah, I thinking about like just Europe as a whole setting, like it's much smaller than like the like American quote unquote expanse, where like just to get that vibe of, well, we have to set it in a pocket of the US because it's too fucking big. Like you don't have to have that same ruling with like a European setting. You could go to
Yeah.
many different places.
On the one hand, yeah. On the other hand, Europe is way more. I mean, these days,
dense.
today,
It's more dense.
it's dense and stuff. But in the post-apocalypse, it would just mean it's probably less traversable because it would have been very
Yeah.
nuked, you know.
The idea
But
is you're gonna have to like worm your way through what I'm seeing is almost like a polka dot map where it's like
yeah,
you're trying to trail in between massive like nuke zones, and that sounds really cool.
yeah.
That sounds like a lot of fun.
That's also how you get borders and different pocket cultures and stuff. That's just
That's
yeah.
cool.
I would
Then you have
I'd write that.
what is it? Fuck, I always forget this. Oh, it's the Rhine, right, between France and
Yeah.
Germany.
Yeah.
Then you have weird
Well, not quite
like
between,
neo
yeah.
Franks. Think about that idea where it's like neo Franks where they're like French German and they're going back to like old like Frankish and like goth culture. That
Yeah.
would be so cool.
But
Now I'm
then-
imagining
but-
their
but-
version of the Brotherhood of Steel.
But how, you know what I do? You know what I do? Because they are it's 200 years in the future and they don't really remember that shit. They're on the wrong side of the Rhine. The Goths are on the French side and so on. Just because, well, you happen to survive here, or we don't know. We just read some comic books about Gauls.
The fucking vertibird flies in, blasting Sabbath.
Yes. Yes.
And they're wielding like big like fucking claymores. That's I'm dying. That's radical.
And every fifth person is named Asterix.
Yeah. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking
exactly.
go. Put capes on your power armor.
Yeah. Why not?
Chainmail and Fallout. Why is there no chainmail? Why is nobody making chainmail? Like that makes no fucking sense. You can definitely get it
because
like,
there's
you can get shit.
there are unlimited amounts of street signs to make armor out of. Apparently.
Fucking yeah.
Because aluminum is such a good armor material.
Yeah, it doesn't have to be backed by a significant amount of leather plating or anything like that. It's not like if you fucking smack into a license plate, like it's gonna dent under your bare hand.
Yeah.
No, it's fine. I'm not salty.
I like that's the thing in our after the bomb game we had coke can armor which was crushed out of crushed coke cans. It wasn't even very good, but we had it.
Yeah, hey, it works.
And in that game it makes more sense because it's way more, the civilization is way more destroyed than in this.
Mm-hmm.
So any stuff is basically, what the fuck is this? Well, I guess we can crush these and make something out of them.
So I guess the system is almost entirely predicated on like, do you have interesting people and nice people that you hang out with? Because if you have a dickhead GM or player, don't play this. And if all you want to do is just like the tourist version of the video game, then like don't play this. Go play the video game. If you have like your own ideas about how the Wasteland works and your own take on Fallout, like all means go.
It would have honestly, I think, benefited them. They could have put all this art in here and then just wrote a more generic Fallout setting.
Yeah.
And that would have been better. That would have been the better work.
All of the Commonwealth
Mhm.
crap with how to build your own wasteland and how the
Yeah.
factions function.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, that would have
that
been
was
really cool. That would have been a great toolbox.
oh my god, and that's more in line with what Modificus usually does too. Like, I don't know
Mhm.
why
Yeah. I think
like they're going so
they had to do this
it's a
because
quota.
Yeah.
Bethesda made them.
Yeah, like I could see that they had to do this in order to keep the license. Like they have to release this first, and then they can release like an expansion that says, "Oh yeah, here's how you randomly generate vaults. Here's
That's
what you could put in your
okay.
wasteland, etc."
If they are good, that's what they're gonna do, and I hope they do
Yeah,
it because then I would
I
be
really
hyped.
hope so.
Yeah,
Yeah.
would
And
be
then
quite hyped
add
to play
in
it.
some vehicle combat rules and call it good.
Yeah, because again, you can teach this game in an hour and have
Oh yeah,
and have characters at the end of that hour, and that's
huh.
pretty good. That's something you can't even say for 5e.
No, you can't. You really can't.
And the only thing,
No.
because let's be real, you don't have to understand what you look at this skill table and you know what it does. What does athletics do? Oh, I have a good idea what athletics does and so on. So the only thing you have to read is the perks and the races.
Yep.
And even then,
Yeah.
it's like, okay, we're just gonna be survivors because it makes sense for my game that we are survivors.
Yeah.
So please pick that. Maybe one of you is a ghoul because you really insist on it, Steve. But
Mhm.
but then yeah, pick your perk and then we can start playing. Yay! Why did all of you pick Lady Killer? Ah, yeah, I think that's a good verdict. That's a good point to
Oh,
end it on,
this
right?
is
Or
really
do we have
cool.
some?
So I'm looking into some forums, and it looks like they are planning on doing more books for it.
Nice.
Oh, good.
Okay.
It looks like they're pushing it out. They right now it just looks like they fucked up really hard on the logistics side and couldn't get their starter set out. So I would say in the next few months,
Oh
like
yeah.
in the next 2 or 3 months, like look out for the starter set to be out.
Okay.
Sure.
And
Huh.
then after that, I think they're gonna start working on other stuff that looks more in line with what they do for like Conan, which are smaller, like $15 books.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's hope they make a generic one. Let's hope they make a build your own Fallout book. Because
Yeah,
that's
God,
what
that
I
Into
would
it.
want.
be so good. Give me just a
Yeah.
generic Fallout World book to build. Tell
Yeah,
me
yeah,
how
yeah,
to
yeah.
how to. And you know what? I don't even need that shit. I don't need how to run the Brotherhood of Steel. I've got my ideas on how
Yeah.
that shit works. But the
Yep.
guy who doesn't know, like that guy needs that shit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Here's
they
a book.
do.
But they don't
Yeah.
need again, they do not need to know about Fallout 4 because let's be real, you have played that if you get this book.
Yeah, pretty
Yeah.
much.
And
Let's just be real.
let's also be real, you probably didn't like it as much, very much. And so maybe it's to the detriment of this book that it's so closely tied to it. I'm sorry, but it's
If you
just okay.
absolutely hate Fallout New Vegas and you like Fallout 4, you're from an alternate dimension and you must be cleansed by the timeline keepers.
Yeah, that's no, that person does not exist. And if you
We're
show them
coming
to
for
me,
you.
I'm gonna make sure they don't exist from that point on.
You instantly just his beam shoot out of his
Elite.
eyes and they fucking
Yeah.
burst into ash.
Yeah, yeah. Let's be real. The best thing I've heard about Fallout 4 is it plays well, but yeah, I agree
Yep,
with that.
pretty much.
But no
Mhm.
one's gonna be like, yeah, the story was really awesome and it was really immersive. No one is gonna be like that. And so this
Mhm.
again, the bit being tied to it is just yeah. I've said it
This
so many
also
times
has an
now.
advantage over Fallout 4 because actual interesting creative GMs who have experience creating their role playing settings will actually be doing something with it instead of a bunch of fucking yes men.
Yeah, exactly.
So yeah,
Exactly.
congratulations, you can make a better Fallout than 4 with this book. That's my glowing endorsement.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. You really can.
It's not gonna
Even
be
Really can.
you, schlubby viewer,
Even
can be
you.
better than Todd Howard.
yes. And if you
It just
struggle
works.
to think of how the just leave out the self-congratulatory bullshit and then you're gonna be fine.
Yeah, 100%. Fucking don't play the big brotherhood theme while they fly in on a zeppelin when they should be a fucking dying cult of weirdos who are
Yeah.
obsessed with their power armor and jerking off over laser pistols.
Yep. Exactly. And if you want super mutants, maybe don't just maybe if make it about
Good
that.
people, you know?
How are there still so many of them? That is a real threat, a real thing to figure out.
Yeah.
Because it does seem to be a problem. We killed the master a long time ago. Why are there still so many of you? Where are you
Yeah.
coming from?
What happened?
Yeah,
Why
what
aren't you going to
happened?
explain it?
Yeah. And
No,
why
it's fine.
they don't have any plans
Yeah.
either. It's just attack Washington for no reason because we don't that we can hang up our bags of meat. Ah, those games.
Yeah.
They are just orcs, and it's so bad. It's so sad because they used to be really cool.
Yep. Yep.
It was arguably, if you played Fallout 1 in the way where you don't figure everything out, and you meet the master, it's a bad end that you get dipped, but you can get dipped and feel like, oh, that should happen. Because he has a good point. Because if you don't know that they are sterile, which you don't find out easily,
Yeah, you have to do a lot of work, and you have to talk to like a lot of different people and pay attention.
yeah, yeah,
You really do.
yeah.
And that's good. You should be paying attention when you're playing games. You shouldn't be
Exactly.
fucking sitting there drooling and staring at the screen and clicking buttons.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be about guys running out of the vertibird in their power armor. Which I'm just saying because I happen to be scrolled up to that point.
So, Trick, that meme you just posted,
Ooh,
there's one frame
memes?
missing from. Yes.
I know. His
There's a
head
frame
severed from his body.
in which Thor is swinging in with lightning and fucking instantly blocks it. Thor would fucking love the Brotherhood of Steel, dude. That guy would be so in.
I think so.
Oh, cool. Battle
yeah.
Brothers.
They're the right kind of bros, and
yeah.
Anyway, okay. So final verdict is very playable, but please note the setting.
Yeah.
Any parting
Be
words?
Smart about your setting.
Yeah.
Not particularly. I just had a good time today.
No.
This was nice.
Like,
it was good.
I would play it. I would run it.
Yeah.
I think
honestly,
that's the best
I would run it.
Ever really give. Like, and this is not
like,
something of I'd play it for a one-off or I'd do it for a one. I'd do a full campaign on this. This seems really fun.
No. Like, it's to the degree where I'm already in my head thinking, all right, but how could we make the crafting thing more reasonable, you know?
Yeah.
Because there are people who want to do that, and it'd be a pretty easy patch to make it reasonable, so you don't have to take 17 perks.
Yep. My hot take on all this is I don't need a Fallout pen and paper.
Totally
but I don't mind having it, so sure. I would prefer having good Fallout computer games again, but well.
This is the crazy thing. If you asked me this a year ago, I would have said I wouldn't want to because my love of Fallout was fucking dead.
Yeah.
It's been dead for like 5 years, and I rekindled it like 2 months ago.
My love of Fallout is still dead, and it's gonna stay dead. I think.
I'm sorry.
It's still like 1, 2, and New Vegas for what they are, but I've not replayed them. I don't plan to.
Oh, I did a replay of Fallout 2 recently with the restoration patch, and wow, it was fun.
All right.
Eventually, I'm not in a hurry. If I ever make it big as a VTuber, I'm gonna do that on stream and force everyone to be a grognard with me.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah.
That is the real plan. But until then, I don't have to replay them. I've played them so many times.
Me too.
And I've played them in the shitty German version where there are no children, so you can't do certain quests, and you have to find randomly a wrench on a random radar to progress the main quest.
That's awesome.
Because German censors were like, "What? They're children? You can potentially shoot them? No. We don't allow this in Germantown." And then they just removed all children from the game, which also means they just made them invisible. That means the children in the hub or whatever, and Fallout 1, that steal from you, you can usually just get your stuff back by finding the child, right? And then demanding your stuff. You can't do that. They can steal critical items from you. It's so stupid.
I love it. I love it. That's the best way to do it.
Yeah. I still finish those games. Yeah. I think we are done now.
I think so.
Yeah. Next week, like we promised last time we did this, we're gonna play Aberrant for real.
Yep.
Yeah. I already have a character. And yeah, it should be good.
I hope so. I hope that I can live up to my years of DMing, and if I can't, then I will be crucified.
Yeah,
we'll have a good time regardless. We're
gonna have a good time crucifying you regardless. Yeah. Exactly.
Indeed,
exactly. Exactly.
Anything planned on your channel, Emery, for the next week?
Not in particularly next week is pretty much business as usual. I have
Okay.
I have a script treatment that I have to work on,
Oh.
and so that's going to be taking up a lot of my time. But I'm just playing more
Yep.
Resident Evil with Cosmo, and then filling my time with some streams. I might only do 2 or 3 next week.
Okay,
just because I'm
understandable.
gonna have a lot of work.
Nice. Yep.
Yeah, for me, it's tomorrow is Grounded with Versailles and Azure.
Wonderful.
I'm
Woohoo!
going, and well, next week is business as usual.
Mhm.
Excuse me. I'm gonna do another politics on Tuesday, which I'm looking forward to.
Ooh, cool.
Yeah.
Mhm.
If you don't know what that is, just watch. And besides that, I don't even know really. So yeah, thank you both for being here, and
Thank you very much for hosting and
Yeah.
Of course.
placating my ridiculousness.
Oh yeah, but
Anytime.
are we going to play the session on your channel, on here, on over here? Do we know?
I believe so.
Okay, I
believe
think
so.
I think it's that. Yeah. Okay. So yeah.
Yeah, that's smart. Maximum
I'll
control.
get something.
Yeah.
I'll get something set up for that, and
Nice.
we'll go through.
Okay. Perfect. And then I'm just gonna rate someone who I found today. They have debuted
Awesome.
their base model today. They're a
Lovely.
very nice person, and they have a good sense of humor. It's Shori MP, and we're gonna rate them. And yeah. Again, thank you for being here, and I will see you all soon.
See you soon.
Yeah.
See you soon.
See where this goes. Yes. Good. Good.